This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
This episode is brought to you by Movement.
Love Movement.
Me too.
The concept and the watches.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Now, without giving away this specific date, Mason, it's either been your birthday or it's soon to be your birthday. Now, I've forgotten to do this last few years, but Mason, as is tradition on this show...
Except for the last few years.
Yes.
Which has broken the tradition, I feel.
You get to do the intro of the show as a birthday treat.
Oh my God, what a treat for me. Wow.
I'll just sit here. I'll be you.
Great. That is a good impression of me, actually.
I was going to say something really rude. I was like, oh, look, I'm doing this really rude thing. But
Well, I keep that in my head.
yeah, okay, good.
Folks, welcome once again to another episode of The Weekly Planet, a podcast where we talk about movies and comic books and TV shows and video games sometimes.
A little bit of news today, yeah.
It's me, Mace. I'm here. James is also here. Welcome to the show. Now, James, you'll do my tradition, which is a thing that I do very occasionally, which is where there's some sort of fun anecdote.
Yeah.
I usually forget to think of one.
Yeah, okay.
But I think in this occasion, because it's been my birthday or it's soon to be my birthday,
Yes.
you should have an anecdote of some
That's
kind.
true. I do actually. I got one locked and loaded, ready to go because I pre-planned this, which
Dang.
means that, of course, I would come in with a story prepared.
Great.
I didn't.
Ah, whoa. That's a story in itself,
My idea
James,
was to throw you under the bus and then walk out of the room.
for the entire episode.
That's the birthday treat, yeah.
Now that I think about it, me not having an anecdote in most weeks, that's a journey in itself, isn't
That's
it?
true. I think
I could just every week I could just be like, I was gonna think of something, but then I slept in,
Yeah.
and then
I didn't want to.
I didn't want to. I didn't leave my house, so there wasn't anything real.
Yeah.
Like nothing notable happened. I didn't meet a wacky dude or anything.
We're back in lockdown,
Yeah, I'm back in lockdown.
etc. and so forth.
That's right.
Hopefully not for too much longer, but yeah.
Hopefully for way longer, James.
No, Mason. I'm homeschooling. It's literally killing me.
But I'm not homeschooling. Living large.
As I said, like if I didn't have kids,
Mm-hmm.
mate, you could lock me down for 5 years. I would not even notice. I wouldn't even blink. But I love my kids. And also, Mason, I love movie news because we are doing movie news this week.
That's right.
We've got a bunch of trailers, including The Eternals, including Jungle Cruise, and a bunch of others. J.J. Abrams got some Star Wars news about what he thinks about Star Wars.
Yep.
Oscar Isaac and Moon
They probably
Knight.
should have asked for his opinion on Star Wars before he did those Star Wars
They
movies.
probably did ask him, don't you think? They asked him behind closed doors. We got some more Okoye updates
that's right,
for
yeah.
the future of the character. The casting of Kravan the Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Marvel Universe information. We got a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory prequel update.
Great.
Thank goodness. Amazon and MGM.
Where do you get that chocolate?
He makes it. It's in the movie.
The prequel, but it's going to be in the prequel,
Oh,
right?
he doesn't have any chocolate. And at the end, he goes, "You know what? I will. I'm gonna. That's what this has been about.
Great.
And I'm gonna do it.
Terrific, yeah. He's going to have to get the hat, the goggles.
Yep.
I'm assuming it's the Johnny Depp version. That's a prequel too.
Didn't the other one have goggles as well at some point?
No.
Was it a big white jumpsuit?
Oh, maybe you did. Yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe you put on that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, great
on a lab
stuff.
coat or something.
Some Guardians of the Galaxy video game news.
Oh.
Some Zack Snyder stuff, and of course a sequel to Joker. Maybe very
Where do you
much.
get that chocolate?
Well, the Joker?
Yeah, yeah.
In his fridge.
Oh, yeah, that actually he did spend a lot of time in that fridge.
You a fridge in the chocolate guy or a chocolate in the fridge guy? But no, are you chocolate in or out of the fridge?
Mostly in the fridge.
Depends what it is.
Agreed.
Yeah. If it's a thick block,
Yeah.
you don't need that any harder than it needs
That's
to be.
very true.
But it's a thin, if it's a Kit Kat, chuck it in there.
Where are you
Put a Mars bar in. What are you, insane?
Where are you putting your Tim Tams?
Well, I don't have Tim Tams because
If
I'll
you did.
die. Fridge.
Yeah, I would mostly fridge the Tim Tams
Yeah,
as well.
because I like a cool Tim Tam.
Oh, that reminds me I should get some Tim Tams.
I would
on my own.
exclusively eat Tim Tams, but I can't because I have kids.
You've got to choose.
Anyway, time codes if you do want to jump around.
If you just want to repeat the chocolate and Tim Tam talk,
Yeah.
it's right there. Just wind it back for
That's
10
right.
seconds.
You can check that right out. And in addition to that, this week at bigsandwich.co, which is our private little service, which you can sign up to if you want. We have a bunch of movie commentaries and stuff like that. This week we're doing Time Capsule.
That's right.
Of the year 1991. And
Oh,
you
big
might
year.
think, yeah, is that a big year? Yes.
Very big year.
From memory, from when we recorded it. Yes, probably.
That's right.
But let's get into the news. And by news, I mean trailers. Trailers ahoy, Mason. Very good.
Wait, because it's my birthday. You should have gone. You should have done the honk.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, go on.
God,
God, he's planned this out perfectly.
That one I prepared for. Jungle Cruise, speaking of boats.
Oh, The Rock and his tiny tugboat and his
Tiny little uniform.
little waistcoat. Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, pretty standard fare, isn't it?
I thought so, yes.
Of all
Looks expensive.
Of all the trailers I've seen this week, this one I would definitely say is the most standard fare. Like, they're not taking any chances with this movie, are they?
No, it doesn't feel that way. It feels I see what they're doing with like a Pirates of the Caribbean-esque, because it's based on a ride.
The Mummy-esque as well, I think, throwing that in there.
adventure, romancing the stone,
Yep.
so on and so forth.
That's right.
Classic movies. But this, I mean, it could be great, don't get me wrong, but this just, everything about this screams like, do you want to see the most generic by-the-numbers committee Disney movie you've ever seen in your life?
Hell yeah. Just
Sure.
kidding, no.
Well, it's coming to streaming, so I probably will watch
Yeah,
it
I
on
guess
streaming.
it'll be
if
on.
I'm
It'll be
honest.
on. Do you think it'll be premium content? Like you got to throw an
Yes,
extra
I
$20
believe
in?
it is,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, right.
You going to chuck down for that?
Man, I do like Emily Blunt. I do like The Rock.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
it?
how they get you.
Yeah. It's got
They
Jesse
employ
Plemons.
They employ the bare minimum. I was like some sort of German.
Yeah.
What was
Submarine
like
captain?
Ottoman Empire
Yeah.
submarine captain?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
All right, that is kind of fun.
I think one of the main reason why Pirates worked, the first one at the
Yes.
very least, is because Johnny Depp was doing a weird thing. But if you just get The Rock and Emily Blunt to roll in and just go, hello, it's me, The Rock, and me, Emily Blunt, and let's just go on a standard adventure.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we here for?
That's true.
And it's in the jungle again. Aren't all his movies in the jungle now?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, whatever. We've got more trailers.
Okay.
Let's talk about the trailer for Old, which is
Okay.
M. Night Shyamalan's next movie.
Yeah.
Where if you go onto this beach,
You get old.
you get old.
Watch out.
Can you leave the beach? Probably not, because you would.
You definitely leave that beach. Yeah.
I'd be out of there.
Yeah.
I'd be so fast out of there. But it turns out that on the beach, you get real old, then you die. Do you reckon there's going to be a way to reverse getting old on the beach?
No.
There's a magic elixir
No.
Oh.
Maybe they'll find it on a jungle cruise.
in the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about this, though? He's hit and miss, obviously, but he's
very hit and miss,
He's done
isn't
some decent stuff more like of late again. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this based on something? Maybe is it based on a?
Fear of Dying?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
that.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as I know, it's not, because he likes to make a lot of original properties, except for Avatar,
That's true.
which was horrendous. Yes, we did record of a caravan of garbage, and no, I don't know when I'm going to put it out.
Don't even know where it is, quite frankly.
Nah, it's probably in a bin. We might have to record it again by the time we roll around to it. I think we make a lot of Y2K references.
Yeah,
in
we
it.
sure do.
We recorded
Yeah.
it that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No reference to any kind of pandemics, you know?
No, it does feel like it's based on a Stephen King short story or something, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, okay, let's have a look.
All right, I can also Google.
Inspired by the graphic novel Sandcastle. I
Oh,
thought it
you're
was.
right. Well
Yeah,
done,
there we
Mason.
go.
Wow, you're on fire today.
Thank
That's
you.
because it's your birthday or soon to be your birthday, or
Yeah.
it was your birthday.
That's right. I mean, it's got some people I like. It's got Gail Garcia Bernal. It's got Rufus Sewell is in it.
Wow,
A lot of French people.
a lot of French people.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, genuinely looks all right. The payoff isn't always great in
That's
his
true,
movies,
yeah.
but I like the premise. Let's talk about though Last Night in Soho.
Ah,
which
a
is
new
Edgar
Edgar Wright
Wright's.
film, yeah.
A
Not a
mind-
comedy, it seems.
One of the many mind-bending time travel kind of multi-generational movie situation trailers that we got from this week.
Yes.
What did you think? Doesn't look like anything else he's done.
No, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's branching out, you know?
Reminded me of that Neon Set in an Inn movie where Chris Hemsworth turns up and he's a serial killer or something.
What's that one called? Bad Times at the El Royale?
There, got that kind of vibe.
Okay.
No?
What?
You can say no.
I mean, I don't really remember. Was that surreal and magical, that movie? Or
You know
it
what?
was-
It probably wasn't.
I don't think it was.
It just gave me that vibe.
Just gave me that. What's allowed to give you that vibe?
Yeah.
That's totally fine. Looks really good.
Hmm.
Someone's going back to the swinging 60s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the movie Midnight in Paris, a movie I haven't seen. Don't you think?
I'm going to say no. I don't think it is like that.
Wow. Making some hard stances here, and I don't know if I like it. But yeah, when's that out? Do you know?
No.
Well, maybe I should have looked this up.
Okay.
Maybe I will look it up now. October of this year. So yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Cool. Good stuff. Very short teaser trailer for Dexter,
Yeah.
where he's back. He's in a small town. He's Mr. Jim Lindsay. So he's not a wood chipper or whatever he was. He's
Okay.
a school teacher of some sort.
Huh.
So it seems to be what he's under under the guise of, and he probably has to go back and do some serial killers. Now, the only confirmed original cast member is him, but do you think we're going to get some other cops maybe looking for him, some flashbacks, or
I think we're definitely
the
going to get
ghost of
flashbacks.
his sister,
Ghost of his
etc.?
sister, definitely.
Yeah.
Wait, did she ever appear as a ghost, or did she?
No, she died in the very last episode.
Right, so there wasn't time for her to become a ghost.
Plenty of time now, though.
Yeah, heaps of
Limited
time.
series. I think it's like 6 or 8, but
Okay,
also
yeah.
could keep going.
Yeah,
You know how these things go.
sure do. Yeah.
Didn't like it the way it wrapped up, but I
No.
always liked the concept, and the early seasons are pretty.
Do you think that do you think this is going to be a fresh start, or do you think there's going to be plot threads from that last season? So some spoilers for Dexter,
Yeah.
the original Dexter. He has a child.
Yep.
And he leaves it
With another serial
with
killer.
another serial killer. He's like, well, I can't raise this kid because the kid will become a serial killer. So I'll let this less morally constrained serial killer
Yes.
raise the child instead.
Perfect. What I think, I think it's going to be one of those things where you don't think they're going to connect, and then it will. And even if you haven't seen it, it won't matter because they'll be looking for him or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be, and then some of the previous cops will turn up.
Do you think there'll be a surprise return from somebody who was definitively dead in the
Oh,
previous?
like a previous serial
like a
killer.
Dokes? You think Dokes will come back
Surprise,
or something?
motherfucker. Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean,
Right.
Dokes exploded.
Yeah.
But even the ghost of Dokes,
Ghost of Dokes.
that'd be great.
Ghost Dokes.
He's here. Has there been a ghost of Dokes? Has there been enough time? Surely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Surely there's been enough time. I got 3 more trailers to talk about, Mason.
Okay, go on.
The Tomorrow War.
Yep.
Which is the one where Chris Pratt has to go into the future because of the multi-generational war.
He has to do an Edge of Tomorrow.
That's
sure.
right.
More
And
or
then
less.
there's the movie Infinite where Mark Wahlberg is a Highlander man.
He's a Highlander, but he seems to be
Yeah.
a reincarnated Highlander man as
Yeah.
opposed to an immortal Highlander man.
What do you mean I'm a Highlander man? What are you even talking about?
Highlander powers? Is that what she's saying?
I've never even held a sword up and then lightning hit it. I've never done that.
Well, it's because it's got Chiwetel Ejiofor is in this.
Yes.
Looking great.
Didn't
with a shaved
recognise
head.
him at first, yeah.
Looking so good. But and it opens with him bringing a sword into the
Yeah.
room, and I'm like, wow, they're really leaning heavily into this like Highlander reference here.
Yeah.
But
I haven't even seen Highlander. Sorry, go on.
so this, like we said, it seems to be
Talking about both of these movies, I guess, just together,
It's
right?
like, so what was the previous one we were talking
The
about?
Tomorrow War.
Oh, yeah.
Where they come back and they're like, get up here and get into this.
Right. Get amongst it.
But
Go hard or go home.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm more interested in this Infinite
Me
one.
too, actually, yeah.
So the opening scene is we enter a room. Chiwetel Ejiofor enters this room. Mark Wahlberg's in it. He can't escape. And then Chiwetel Ejiofor's like, "Can you remember any of these things on the table?"
Nah, man.
I can't remember. Oh, how would I remember a rope? You know,
Never even looked at a rope.
right?
Yeah.
But Chiwetel Ejiofor's like, every time you don't remember a thing, I'm gonna Russian roulette you.
Yeah.
What if he shot him? Is he just going to wait 40 years for the guy to
Yeah, he'll
be
come
reborn
back. He's probably
again?
done it so many times.
Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
guess, but I mean, surely there's some like it would be nice if there was some time pressure here.
Yeah, sure.
So what is going on?
He's after a thing, a magic amulet, probably.
Nice.
Do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
What about a tuxedo that gives you kung fu powers? Maybe they're after that.
Is it technology or is it magic? Or is it technology that's indistinguishable from magic?
I think it's probably just magic.
Great. That sounds really good.
Never even seen a magic tuxedo.
This will never fit over my biceps. What are you guys even talking about?
Oh my god, it fit over my biceps. I guess it is magic. I like how if you go back, our first like sentence of Mark Wahlberg impression probably somewhat accurate. The further along we go, the weirder and worse it gets.
Doesn't make any sense.
Did you also see the first photo reveal of Uncharted?
Yeah.
With Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland as two men.
Two guys in the same clothes.
Two men
holding torches.
Two men in black clothes holding torches in a location. Wow, you've really nailed that Uncharted spirit, haven't you?
I mean, we know it's going to get more Uncharted as it goes along.
I guess.
But yeah, no, that didn't do much for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, where is Infinite going to end up? Is it going to end up at cinemas or is it?
Paramount Plus, apparently.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I guess
that's
also
right.
cinemas.
Yes,
And
yes,
Tomorrow
yes.
War is Amazon also as well.
Okay.
Is that right?
Do we have big Amazon news this week?
We do. Oh, I should also mention that we are going to be talking about A Quiet Place too. I didn't mention that, but it's in the title. But my wife Claire will be stopping by, won't she, Mason?
That's right.
To talk about A Quiet Place. Maybe she's here right now, but she's practicing being in The Quiet Place. She's not here. But it was a joke. about
Go
how
on.
that movie
Yeah,
is
yeah.
also about being quiet,
Yeah.
largely.
And I think that sort of represents how we would do in the universe of A Quiet Place. Your wife would be being very, very quiet, and we would just be talking about old trailers we watched before the aliens crashed to
Yeah.
Earth and began slaughtering everybody who talks. And we'd be
Exactly.
like, hey, remember when Mark Wahlberg was going to be in... Like, at least one of us would die doing a bad Mark Wahlberg impression.
Hey, what's that running towards me?
Hey, I'm drinking a Budweiser, and then I'm killed. You know?
This wasn't worth it. This joke I'm doing.
But you got to keep people's spirits up, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But The Eternals was the big trailer from this week. I did a trailer breakdown if people want to see my thoughts. But
Yeah.
what are your thoughts of the Eternals trailer?
Oh my goodness, a lot to unpack. I
Yeah.
think. Well, I mean,
well, you're on your own,
The
'cause
number.
I already did it.
I know you did. You just grunt along to this. The number one question, which I'm sure you probably did some wild speculating about, is if they've been around since the dawn of human civilization or before.
Yeah.
Where
What are you doing?
where have they been? Where have they been when Thanos was destroying the universe?
Yeah.
I reckon, and you know,
They could have been in that big battle at the end as well. We
could have been in the
wouldn't
big battle. They could have been, you know, on the other side of the galaxy defending something else.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be the kind of, immortal beings who are just like, sometimes a Silver Surfer will be like, oh, I feel so disconnected from humanity, and I shall simply slip into the void. Whoa. Oh,
Yeah.
do that thing, and they disconnect from humanity for
Yep.
1,000 years or whatever, and then they come
yeah.
back. Because there is a scene in this trailer where they arrive in their spaceship, and they're looking at what might be prehistoric
Yeah.
humans, or it might be like one of those tribes that still exist that people don't interfere with.
I
Remember that?
Yeah, I do. Didn't they all die? They ended up bulldozing them all?
No, there was one tribe. They live on an island, and there was a guy who kept bothering them, and eventually they killed him. Did you remember that? It was
didn't know
quite
that.
recently.
Why was he bothering them?
He just wanted to do research and just show up on their island all the time
Yeah, well,
and killed him.
maybe when they were throwing stuff at you, you should leave.
Great. And I think you mentioned as well in your video. So the Eternals were created by the Celestials, who
Yes.
we've seen in the movies before. They also created the Deviants, and Thanos is technically, in the comics at least, he is a Deviant.
Yep.
He's one of the evil versions of the Eternals. So I mean, maybe one of the explanations could be that even though Thanos said that he annihilated half the population at random, maybe he was like, annihilate half the population at random,
But
and also
specifically
all those bloody Eternals, because
Yeah.
I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
The thorns in my side for ages. you
Yeah,
know?
you're right. Might be right. Because he could have just gone into a mind palace and whatever, couldn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorted it out.
Plenty of time in that mind palace.
Just walked down like a row of people and went,
Yeah.
yeah, this guy, this one, this one, this one.
Yeah, yeah. How do you feel about their power set in this? We've seen
Pretty vague at this point. but-
very vague at this point.
I mean, you get a bit of an indication about what's going on. But what I did also notice from this trailer is that Kumail Nanjiani is much bigger now than he was when this movie was shot.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Jesus, you sent me a picture this week. I was
did.
like, God, he's enormous.
Look, I don't want us to descend into gossip. Or
No.
anything, but it's like, maybe he's found his thing. Maybe he's
seems
like,
like he
I'm
has.
loving this.
Yeah.
I
I like being two men. I like being as big
Sure,
as two
yeah.
men. Yeah, is that your foot?
Nope.
No, it's a chair. Cool, thank God.
right. Yeah. It's looking good.
Yeah. I think they are going to answer like where they've been and whatever. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No, I don't think they'll.
Yeah.
Again, it's in Marvel. There always seems to be a fear that at some point Marvel writers are going to forget and producers are going to forget how to tell a story. I don't think
Yeah.
they are. I think there's going to be an explanation of some kind.
They're all at least good.
That's true. Yeah.
And they're all up, really.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a Marvel fanboy.
Yeah.
But yeah. What do you think about this though? The bit at the end where they're like, what are we going to do now that Captain America and Iron Man are gone? I felt that was just like a bit for the trailer to be like, you saw the Marvel thing up top, but don't worry, it's not one of those X-Men movies.
This is definitely going to be tighter. Don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, I guess we did in most of this, we didn't get anything that sort of leans. It's interesting we didn't get, some, maybe the end game final battle, like a snippet of that.
Yeah.
I think that probably tells me that they weren't at the final Eternals, the end game battle.
Because it wasn't in this trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I enjoyed how they were like, we've guided humanity for so long. We showed them how to make those buildings.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah. I think they all showed them how to make different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Three Little Pig story is based on them.
Okay, cool.
I made a straw hut.
Yeah. I am.
Thanos smashed it.
Yeah. Kit Harington's the Black Knight.
He
We don't know
is.
how that ties in.
So he must be. I reckon they probably had dealings with his ancestor or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's the sword that's passed down, not the and the man. But it's not the same guy, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No. It's interesting because we know a lot of kind of lore about these characters from the comic books, but to what extent?
Yeah. They all have the same powers, don't they? From the comics, or
Yeah, so in the
they probably
comics,
change that,
in the
but-
comics, they all have the same sort of base set of powers, but some are better at one in particular than the others. Like,
Sure.
one is better at shape-shifting, or one is better at shooting lasers out of their eyes, or
Bang.
one is the strongest one, but they can all technically do all the things.
Yeah.
So to what extent that will be, I suspect they'll all be like super strong and long-lived and sort of invulnerable-ish.
Maybe they can't fly, or only one of them can.
Or maybe only one of them can fly.
Does anyone fly in this trailer?
Don't know. But they can all fly in the comics.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Where was I going with this? Probably nowhere, but I've got many thoughts.
I can't wait.
Don't even think I don't have any thoughts in my brain.
No, I thought you had thoughts.
Here's a question. So the creation of them,
Yeah.
back in the day, the Celestials created them and humans and deviants
Yes.
on Earth. So do you think they are from Earth originally, or do you think they're just aliens that look like humans?
Well, as I said in the video, there's creatures in the galaxy that look like humans.
That's true.
Like Jude Law that just looks like a guy.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I don't.
Not just any guy, the young Pope.
That's true. They modeled him off the young Pope.
Not just any guy, Alfie from the remake of the movie Alfie.
True.
Yeah.
A very depressing movie and rewatch. It
That's
turns
right.
out. So yeah, I don't. I think they're not from Earth.
Okay.
I think, but I don't know.
Because I'm sure there's been comparisons on Twitter, but there is a the scene of them arriving on the ship that it sort of mirrors. There's a scene of the Celestials arriving in the comic books, like the Jack Kirby kind of.
Oh, okay.
To experiment
Cool.
on the creatures of Earth and make them into superhuman beings and etc. So I'm wondering if it seems to be in the trailer that is one continuous shot. It's the Eternals arriving on Earth and seeing that group of people. But I wonder if they are maybe separate shots, and that is the Celestial, or like some agents of the Celestials showing up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, these people we can experiment.
And they
on
just
these
grab
people.
some people and
Yeah,
then
yeah. I mean,
That's
maybe,
interesting.
but I don't know. They're crafty with these trailers, aren't they?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think it's way more likely that like you said, they're aliens. They show up at Earth and they're like, "Oh, this is fascinating. We can," because that adds an extra layer of complexity if they're an offshoot of humanity and so are the deviants and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense if they're aliens. They show up on Earth. They look like us, but they're not.
Yeah.
We will show
Maybe
them the way.
maybe they look like something else, and the ship changes them when they get there or whatever.
Maybe, yeah.
To be more human-like or whatever. Maybe they're like birthed as they arrive. I don't know.
Oh, true.
They just bottle them off people. They're like,
Yeah.
make that guy look like that guy.
That being said, what do you think of the aesthetic?
Good.
Yes.
I like that you might not even know it's a Marvel movie. Look, because it's director of Nomadland, a movie you really enjoyed, I think.
Did Chloe Zhao?
So no, what do you think of it though? I mean, also we don't see that much.
No, that's true.
There's been some complaints, but again, as I said in the trailer, it's like we'll get the next trailer where it's like this is the threat and this is what at stake and this is whatever.
I think it could be wackier. Like, I think
like you wish it looked wackier.
Yeah. I'm not wackier, and maybe not even like. I think the character designs themselves look good, but I think the aesthetic of their ship and that sort of stuff, and even like it's because I like the how they can clearly create some sort of technological magic kind of thing. They can create structures and they can create swords and things like that. I think that does look good, but I think the Kirby aesthetic looks kind of wackier.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of bigger and
Bolder.
and like when I think of Kirby, I think maybe Jack Kirby. I think more of like the stuff that was happening in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Because it's kind of bigger and there's like stone effigies to mysterious gods that existed, and this guy's got a metal mohawk and
You keep holding it up and behind the microphone.
All right.
There we go.
yeah, nice.
Is that
And then
Icarus?
That is.
Another guy.
It's a different guy.
Wow.
No, Icarus is like red and.
Oh yeah, and he's got
red and blue.
and he's got the blonde bob.
And then there's this kind of what is this structure? Who even
know.
knows? It's crazy.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, maybe we'll get more of that, but yeah, it doesn't seem to have that much of that stuff.
It just sort
in
of looks
this.
like a stand. Like it's sort of. I think it feels more like they borrowed from like maybe the monoliths in 2001.
Yeah.
Like it's just their ship is just a big block of nothing.
That's what I didn't really like about the aesthetic of Captain Marvel. Like, we're on this other alien world, but everything was just kind of green with a glow to it or whatever. And we're going through a city on a train, but it doesn't really look like anything. So I hope it's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think probably if indeed a New Gods movie comes, are they cancelling the New Gods?
They cancelled it.
Okay, well, never mind then. If anything, the New Gods movie will...
They cancelled it for now, I should point out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But I don't know, because Warner's just got sold or something.
Yeah.
Remember? We talked about
Oh,
it.
that's true. Yeah. Anyway, character design's pretty fine with them.
Yeah, I like the costume.
But just the wider universe, I think, should be wackier.
I agree.
Again, if this one is successful, they do a couple more. Get Taika Waititi again.
Exactly.
He'll make it wacky, or someone will.
Just make 4 bland ones and then a really wacky one.
That's right.
Yep, and then cancel it.
Yeah, please.
If you have any other thoughts, we can do that, or I can talk about what J.J. Abrams said about Star Wars.
Here's the ship, James. I'll show you. Hang on.
Show me the ship, Mason.
Here's the Eternal ship in the movie.
Yep. Monolith.
Big monolith. Here's the Eternal ship arriving in Kirby Land.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Bigger, wider,
Shippier.
crackling Kirby dots.
I'd ship that, Mason.
You'd ship it? You'd be a stan of it?
I'd make it kiss a different ship.
Whoa.
In my mind or whatever.
Yeah, nice.
Maybe
cool.
I'd write a fanfic.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to a different thing.
Let's talk about this, Mason, because Collider spoke to J.J. Abrams and he said you should plan out movies.
Me?
Yeah, you specifically.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he said.
I wanna.
Nah, you have to.
Oh, but I don't wanna.
No,
I'm
he
busy.
said, Nick Mason, you just never really know. But having a plan, I have learned, in some cases the hard way, is the most critical thing. Because otherwise, you don't know what you're setting up. You don't know what to emphasize. Because if you don't know the inevitable of the story, you're just as good as your last sequence or effect or joke or whatever, but you need to be leading to something inevitable. Of course, he's talking about the Star Wars movies in particular.
But he could be talking about anything he's ever done.
But I would say in his defense,
Go on.
He did the first one and then he wasn't going to do any more.
That's true.
And then he came back at the very last minute and made The Rise of Skywalker under probably a lot of Lucasfilm oversight and time crunch and everything. And look,
he had to cover everything in that notes app, screenshot they sent him.
Exactly.
Remember to do this and this and this and this.
And look, I don't like that movie, so I'm not defending it. But I think also The Last Jedi. I mean, the idea was to get different directors, and I think it would have worked better. Again, not everyone likes The Last Jedi. I know we do. Yes, I know. But I think they don't have to be planned out meticulously if you get someone with a vision and you give them enough time.
Yeah.
So I think, if you're doing all three and he was planning on, which he wasn't. Yes, you should plan it out. Or there should have been a rough structure in general even.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of getting 3 different directors and just being like, here you go. Here's $200 million. What can you do with this?
Yeah.
But you don't always get a good thing, obviously.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
And I think the ideal was, to a lot of people, and I think maybe probably to me as well, was like, first one ends on a cliffhanger, second one ends on a cliffhanger, third one, where's that going to go? Like, it's sort of a vibe of like, make the creators think on their feet.
Yeah.
And I think that would work, but that clashes with, a multi-billion-dollar corporation's idea of like, no, this has got to, we don't, we're going to sell merch. We're gonna hit all those story beats.
Yeah.
We got contracts with stars. We can't just be like, well, it would make the most narrative sense to kill this character or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they've got 3 movies on their contract, so you can't do that,
Exactly.
So it's just creative license butts up against the bloody money men.
You're not wrong. What I do really enjoy about a lot of expanded Star Wars material at the moment, a lot of which I do keep up with, is that every now and then they'll have to be like, and this was the Emperor's backup plan. So all those ships that he had? So we're covering all of that. So that's been a new thing in Star Wars comics I've noticed as of late, which I don't hate. But it's just fun to be like, it was always behind the scenes. He had 1,000 ships you didn't even know. You didn't even know about these ships.
But all the clues were there.
Yeah.
If you could interpret that rock over there.
That's right. But yes, you probably should plan your movies.
Agreed. Yeah.
He's right.
He is right.
And we've all learned to
He's out
listen.
of line, but he's right.
Yeah. What do you think about him doing Superman? Because I know there's been rumors that he might do he's not doing the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman that's coming out. But what if he did like a
Superman,
like a Henry
flyby,
Cavill Superman or whatever? Yeah.
Great.
Yeah?
He he's a very competent filmmaker, which is why they give him millions of dollars.
What if he made one, didn't make the second one, they hired someone for the third one, then they fired that person, and people didn't like the second one, and they get him back? Do you like that?
I mean, it's untested, isn't it? It's untested waters. But I'm going to say I probably wouldn't like that.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't look. I mean, you know, as has been pointed out about J.J. Abrams, he spent his entire career not writing an ending. To anything. So
Till he had to.
Till he had to. So yeah, give him the first movie in a trilogy.
Yep.
And for the second two, just some surefire people who will not make any trouble. So they don't, or any indie films in the interim to get themselves fired.
Sure.
And then we won't have to do this again.
That's probably a good point, yeah. Speaking of Star Wars actors, though, Oscar Isaac has confirmed that he's Moon Knight. I thought he was Moon Knight,
I also
but it's
thought
been
that,
confirmed.
Yeah, been confirmed, okay.
I mean, he is, and he was, yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
Deadline are reporting, though, they're hearing from sources that Denai Guerrera will be returning as Okoye, General of the Dora Milaje in Ryan Coogler's upcoming Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, as well as reprising the character in an origin spin-off series for Disney+. It also doesn't specify that it's her origin. It just says an origin spin-off. I presume it's hers.
Yeah, right.
An Okoye one, but
do you think she could become the new Black Panther?
potentially, yeah. I think there's a bunch of people that could do it, but she'd be great, genuinely. Yeah.
Who's your pick? Who would you want to be?
I want two or a team of.
Yeah, right.
So you could do
Mbaku?
Definitely.
Yeah.
You could do his sister because she's like the tech Black Panther. He's
true.
like the bruiser. She's like the warrior. You know what I mean? You could get a few of them. I think that's what I would do.
Again, Martin Freeman, put him in there.
Put him in there. That's fine. When is there going to be a White Panther?
Right?
Is what we always say.
We always say it. Seriously. We say it for reals.
It's not a joke. It's
Not a
never been a joke. It's what
Report
we-
on it as if it's real.
So, yeah, everyone's getting a Disney Plus, it turns out. And why not?
I can't wait.
Yeah. One of the highlights of Falcon and Winter Soldier was the Dora Milaje, so I hope they're doing more with that group in particular.
Yeah.
It would be cool. And then they just beat up Captain America again.
They just go around the world like setting off people's safety features. Knocking off arms and legs left and right.
Just exploding airbags in cars.
That's
Just
right,
anything they could get their hands on. Aaron Taylor Johnson has apparently been locked down for multiple films as Kravan the Hunter, the popular Spider-Man character, Kravan.
I saw a post recently that was like, on Twitter, there was something like, every male actor has been a superhero, so why not give him a second go? And joke's on them because it's his third go.
Yeah, kick-ass, right? Yeah, you're right. So my initial thought was he was in Age of Ultron. Mm-hmm. I don't care, but that was my initial thought because he looks different.
Yes, that's true.
He had a weird haircut and
Just go on, yeah.
and he's dead and whatever. And I guess that's why they also didn't want to bring him back for WandaVision, I guess, because that would be it'd be fresh in people's minds.
Yeah.
Are you a Kravan fan? I'm gonna keep saying it.
Well, then I'm going to join you on this journey. I'm not a huge Kravan fan.
Sure.
But
You've read Kravan's Last Hunt.
I've read Kravan's Last Hunt.
Yeah. It's
I've
Kraven,
read-
by
I've
the way.
read-
Some people might not know. It's Kraven the Hunter. Who is he?
I've read Get Kravan, which is one where he goes to Hollywood, like in a weird way. And it's interesting because when we think of potential casting for a lot of characters, we go, okay, it's Kravan the Hunter, big mountain man, like he's a huge dude, and who would fit that profile? And realistically, in Hollywood, it can be anybody at this point because they put him through the process. Yeah, the process.
Drugs.
Yes. And put a mustache on him and great makeup and whatever, and he can look exactly like that character. So I like his work in things. So
yeah, I agree.
Probably be pretty good.
It seems like we're going to get a solo movie off the front. Oh no, we already got that.
Where he gets his pelt.
I thought I meant the Star Wars solo movie. I'm talking about a Kravan solo movie now, though.
Yes.
So basically, for those who don't know, he's a hunter and he likes hunting the greatest game of all.
Mostly Spider-Man.
Mostly, it just turns out he's just getting Spider-Man at a certain point, isn't he? Interesting character. I feel a good foil to Spider-Man. He's sort of got like Black Panther-esque herb powers sometimes.
Sometimes he has herb powers, sure.
But he doesn't always need it.
Yeah.
He's killed Spider-Man or thought he has or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes he is Spider-Man. He's done that for a bit.
Sometimes the line on his chest shoots lasers out of its eyes. Yeah.
Why didn't it do that when he tried to kill it? I don't know. That's up to him.
Really good question.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
But this is from Variety and Sony Pictures president Sanford Panitch, who says on Spider-Man being in the Venom sequel, it'll be exciting if they do meet, right? So maybe.
Right.
And
You said it, that guy. What's his name again?
Sanford Panitch.
You said it, Sandy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also, like, the vultures in Morbius.
True.
So this isn't a surprise. This was always going to happen whether Marvel liked it or not.
Yeah.
But there's actually a plan. This is what he's saying.
Oh, go on.
I think now...
I know people are surprised, but there's actually a plan.
I think now it's getting a little more clear.
Sorry to the haters, but there's a plan.
Sorry to J.J. Abrams, who wasn't on board for this at one point. A little more clear for people where we're headed, and I think when No Way Home comes out, it'll be even more revealed. Even more will be revealed. The great thing is we have this very excellent relationship with Kevin Feige. There's an incredible sandbox there to play with. We want those MCU movies to be absolutely huge because that's great for us and our Marvel characters. And I think that's the same thing on their side. But we have a great relationship. There's lots of opportunities, I think, that are going to happen. So, yeah.
What a suck up.
Yeah. I think also, like, please let us be in your universe, your big universe you already established over a decade plus.
Your big, bright universe. And here we are over in our dank shadows, you know?
Yeah, making Venom sequels.
When I think of the Sony Spider-Verse, I just think of, like, it's just dark and rainy and...
Even though the Spider-Man movies are good?
Yeah.
You're just thinking about Venom and that Morbius trailer,
yes,
right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. But I think they're building the Sinister Six,
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
That's what's happening here.
Who's next?
Well, there was a report this week, I'm not sure who it was from, but like they're going to get Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin and Doc Ock from those movies and then just put them all together, all these different universes. So presumably that's what they're doing. Like some of the ones jump universes and then be like, now let's get this Spider-Man in particular.
What about all the other Spider-Men?
Oh, what about all the other Spider-Men, boys?
Oh my God, it's Nathan Drake. Run! Jeez, it's Nathan Drake.
He's killed 1 million people.
He doesn't seem to affect him at all. He's a remorseless killer. He's so jovial, though.
Absolute
Wait, he's falling down a cliff. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Do you want a Jonka update?
Yeah, I'd love a Jonka update. Jonka 2 Pig in the City.
So this is by a deadline, but this is about the Wonka prequel. Which is going to be a Wonka origin story.
Oh, we are talking about Wonka and not Jonka.
No, I presume in the vein of Jonka.
So should this be an update where we both talk about Joker sequels and Wonka prequels?
We are going to talk about Joker
this is
sequels.
the Jonka segment.
No, it's Jonka because it's Wonka,
No,
but it's
I know.
but it's Joker.
I'm saying we're combining the two.
You want to do it together?
Segment. Yeah.
I had something in between.
Oh, okay, fine.
But we whatever, man.
Okay,
I was
cool,
saving
man.
that for the last bit of news
Oh,
because it's
I
big
see.
news.
Okay,
People
right.
can skip to it. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. So Timothy Chalamet will play Wonka in the origin film.
Oh,
it's probably about how he enslaved all those pygmies or whatever.
When he met all the Oompa Loompas, where did he find them?
In the forest.
Another dimension.
Yeah. No, I think it was in the jungle.
Okay.
And he was like, why don't you work in a factory instead of living in this jungle? And the way he frames it in the book is that they were hunted by like a local creature.
Okay.
And so...
Maybe just kill the creature.
No, slavery.
Yeah, fair enough.
What he decided.
Drop a glass elevator on it.
Yeah. You can. Damn. You ever read that book?
Yeah.
Brutal.
Mm-hmm.
The glass elevator.
Glass elevator one, yeah.
God, it's absolute nonsense. It's kind of shocking how bad that book is. Yeah. Is that everything then about Jonka?
Let me think.
I feel like I haven't seen enough of Timothy Chalamet. Like everybody loves him, and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, what's he been in prior to this?
Call me by your name or
I
whatever.
didn't say that.
I neither have I.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let me bring up a thing. But he's a young man, and it's a young man's game acting, isn't it?
Very true, yeah.
Yeah.
No old people in the acting game.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, that one with Steve Carell where his son loves drugs.
Didn't say it. Well, we need to talk about Kevin, is that?
No, it's something like that, but it's not that. Great. I'm in some kind of weird...
You in a Timothy Chalamet hole?
I'm in some kind of IMDb Pro situation.
Whoa.
I didn't mean that. I'm getting the Charlemagne TV series, which is apparently a different thing. Where's his IMDb?
I don't know. Maybe he's too cool for one.
It doesn't come up. Like, what is there, a black hole on this guy? How do you spell his name?
Timothy?
Yeah.
With 2 E's at the end?
Oh, there we go. I found it. I was spelling it like so wrong.
Okay.
So I didn't come up.
You were spelling it William Shatner.
I was, yeah.
That'll do it.
There we go. Filmography. And 43 bits of trivia.
Oh, give us some Chalamet
Let me
trivia.
do the filmography first. So Dune, obviously. So it all started in The Sweet Tooth short in 2008.
Okay.
He did some short films. He was on Homeland. He was on Law and Order. He was on Royal Pains. He was on Worst Friends. He was on Spinners. He was in Interstellar. That's right. He was the boy in Interstellar.
Boy in Interstellar.
Call Me By Your Name, Hot Summer Nights. It was in Lady Bird. I still haven't seen Lady Bird. Beautiful Boy. That's the one we're talking about. Little Women. The King. Actually, I've seen The King. Have you seen The King?
I haven't seen
King's
The
great.
King.
I really like The
It's
King.
about a king.
Yeah, The French Dispatch. And then Dune and, of course, Jonka, which is coming out soon, along with Don't Look Up.
William Jonka.
Yes.
Gilliam Jonka.
Gilliam Jonka? Mm-hmm. Well, I never. Do you think he's going to get his hat?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Time
Probably
for
the monster's going to be wearing the hat.
And he has to get the hat?
He's like, well, I don't. He's like, I can kill the monster
Or?
get the hat and take these Oompa Loompas into slavery. I don't have time for both,
Yeah.
so I'll take the hat and the slavery.
Yeah. I don't even want the hat. But I'm going to do it because I want the slavery.
Do you think he will get a leg injury that leads to the scene at the when we first see?
I
William
don't know
Jonka?
whether he'll do that,
Yes.
but he'll definitely do a forward roll. I don't
Yeah.
understand what context. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
out of the way of a monster.
Yeah,
But he's going to do...
I'm gonna put $1 Earth dollar on that he gets a leg injury that leads to him.
But he doesn't actually have an injury.
I know, but that's not important. That's not important for for how movies are produced these days. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have a real leg injury.
Yeah.
They just want us to be like, hey, remember the time he seemingly had a leg injury and then he did a forward roll.
What about this?
Go on.
He gets a leg injury.
Go on.
He's loving the cane, right? And then the doctor says, you don't need that cane anymore. And he goes, you know what? I think I'm going to hang on to it. Credits, Jonka. It says Jonka, a film by Todd Phillips or whatever.
Yeah,
underneath.
Todd Phillips is Gilliam Jonka. Nice.
Great.
Yeah, nice. Do you think it'll be sinister or do you think it'll be
Yes.
heartwarming?
No, I think it'll be sinister and
think so.
weird, yeah.
I think it'll be heartwarming
Great.
because people,
Like
Don't-
the good one.
yeah, they like the good one.
But he's dark, man.
But that's what I'm saying. But I think that's not like if you asked people about that movie, they'd be like, they wouldn't think about the death of all those children.
Yeah.
They would think about, remember all the fun? Remember the kids in the TV or whatever?
I
Remember
think
that?
Timothy Chalamet is like a dark little boy, though, even though he's 25.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think you would hire somebody like him if you wanted like a bit of an edgy take on it.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for the movie Jonka 2023.
Same.
Now, because two companies are buying every company,
Go on.
it's been confirmed that
Which of the two big companies has bought a big company this week?
Amazon have purchased MGM.
Congratulations, Amazon.
You've done it again.
You've done it. Love it.
Can you be stopped? No.
No. Do you think it'll end up with one company? There'll only be one company left.
Yes.
What do you think it'll be, Disney or Amazon?
Amazon. Amazon's much bigger than everyone else.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. Or it's some kind of crypto we don't see coming. That
Just out of
buys
left
it-
field, just one guy.
Yeah.
Just one guy.
Just buys everything
he,
out.
he bought Bitcoin when it was like 1 cent.
Or something we don't even know about.
Oh, yeah, that's actually even more likely. Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
Because Bitcoin might be on the decline, or at the moment it is. I'm keeping my
Yeah.
ear to the grindstone. Anyway, until that
Just
happens.
grinding your ears off.
That's right.
Open for Bitcoin news.
So with the Amazon's purchase of MGM, this is some of the stuff that they have.
The MGM Grand.
That's
the
right.
Bellagio.
The third one.
The third casino in Ocean's 11.
Bell something?
Something? Yeah. Just assume that I said that.
Oh, you definitely would have.
Yeah.
Rocky, Stargate, Handmaid's Tale, The Hoblet, Candied Man.
The what?
The Hoblet.
You've said. All right.
I've written these wrong here because they're fun joke ones.
That is fun, actually, yeah.
Candied Man, Robot Cop, Snack Eyes, Tomb Raider. What do you think about all those?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Reckon they might combine them all into one movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rocky, Stargate, Handmaid's Tale, Hoblet, Candyman, Robot Cop, Snack Eyes, Tomb Raider. Yeah, very good.
James Bond.
Yes, well, that was the thing. They mentioned James Bond is the biggest one. Apparently, they're committed to a theatrical release for the James Bond franchise. I've written in brackets here, for now. Because money talks and it's Amazon.
That's right.
And they'll just have that family killed who owns James Bond.
Money talks, broccoli walks, as they say.
That's right.
The classic saying.
Yeah, so we'll see. We're going to get spin-offs. I mean, maybe not
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
But there'll be a whole James Bond universe attempted at the very
agreed,
least.
yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. This is from Grub on Twitch, who's a Twitch person.
Okay,
They're like,
their name is
"Look,
Grub.
apparently.
Okay.
Aren't you on Twitch?
No.
Me neither. Never. But Grub says,
Go on.
This is my impersonation of this guy I don't know anything about.
Well, here's my impression of Grub. Hello,
I'm a normal man.
normal man. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Don't judge a grub by his name.
Anyway, time for lunch, which is worms. Some stereotypes are true, it seems.
So Square Enix apparently working on a Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Okay.
You might recognize Square Enix because they made that Avengers game recently.
They sure did, yeah.
And it fucking sucks.
Okay, but do they have... Is Square Enix one of those companies that has a bunch of different development teams?
Yes, they are one of those companies that bought up a bunch of other companies.
Oh my god, Amazon style. I love it.
They have Crystal Dynamics.
Who do you think's going to get? I guess Disney would buy them. If somebody's going to buy Square Enix, it'd be Disney, right?
I guess.
Because they just did the Marvel.
But Disney
thing.
also not really about video games.
That's true.
For now.
Oh.
Crystal Dynamics did the Marvel game. They also did the Tomb Raider games. I think it's unfair to be like Crystal Dynamics made a bad game because I think the core of that game is good, but everything around that game is bad.
I played 2 of the new Tomb Raider
They're
games.
good, same. And I bought the third one and played it and went, I think you had to make a village. And I'm like, I don't want to make a village.
Sure, yeah.
I just want to hit someone in the back of the head with a pickaxe.
Right?
Yeah. So that's what I think. So they also have Luminous Production, IDOS. So they've got a bunch.
Loved IDOS back in the day.
What are
James.
they working on? I can't remember. Me neither.
I'm going to look it up. And I'm
One thing, a second thing, the
yeah.
Bellagio,
Thank
a third
you.
thing.
Thank God.
Grub also mentioned that he'd heard the company was working on the
Grub.
title, but was now ready to confirm that the game is real and will be made by Square Enix. So that's all. We don't know what it is, what it's about. Presumably it's some kind of third-person action something, I assume. Yeah. What do you got from IDOS, Mason?
Okay. They're known for Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain, the Legacy of Kain games, where you were a vampire man. Deus Ex, the Deus Ex games.
Oh, yeah, I did look this up, actually. Yeah.
Hitman, the old ones.
Yep.
Let's see. The Thief games.
Oh, yeah.
Gex was an itis. Sleeping Dogs. A lot of people like Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, yeah, people do like Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah. Gex again, Into the Gecko. Carmageddon.
Did they?
Yep. That's right.
Never played Carmageddon.
The Reservoir Dogs game from 2006.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Wasn't that controversial?
Probably.
I think they did the heist.
Because it came out 12 years after the movie came
People
out.
were outraged.
Yeah.
What are you even doing? No one's going to buy this.
Yeah.
If you're going to make any game, you'd make a Kill Bill game.
That's right.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's madness. Sorry, 14 years. It came out 14 years after the movie.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, they did make a Scarface video game.
That's true, yeah.
And a Godfather video
Yeah,
game. Anyway, great. Whatever that bit of news was, good.
I loved it.
What was it? Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy via Grub. This is via the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. They spoke to Zack Snyder and they asked if he would bring back Affleck and Cavill to do a Dark Knight Returns movie.
Okay.
And he said, no, I don't think so. I think it would just be its own thing. Yeah, I think it would just be its own thing. I would just do it 100%, Watchmen style, really frame accurate, really do it. I don't think it would be that expensive, to be honest. I don't think so. It's pretty gritty. So that's what he would do with this movie that Warner Brothers will not let him make. They also, he opened up about his Star Wars movie because there was rumors that he was going to do one.
Oh.
But apparently he spoke to George Lucas in like the mid-2000s after the prequels to make a Seven Samurai style Star Wars movie.
Okay.
So this was even before the merger. Maybe they had conversations since, but I doubt this is going to happen because he says, I'm just going to make it. I'm going to make a space western, but it's not going to be Star Wars.
Huh.
So yeah, why not? Or develop it at the very least.
You know what he could do? He could do a remake. There was that movie Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yes.
Which was the Magnificent Seven, but in space.
Yes.
Remake of that. Seems like the path of least resistance.
It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. Also, the seven, like Star Wars is sort of Seven Samurai in some ways, isn't it?
Oh,
Some
very,
of
yeah.
it. So, you know,
Yeah.
or the Hidden Fortress and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think I mentioned this before. There's a YouTuber called Noah Caldwell Gervais.
Yes.
He does those very long videos about mostly video games. I think I've sent a few of
You did, yeah.
But he did one recently on Knights of the Old Republic, and it's about those Star Wars games, but also about how that, you know, the Hero of a Thousand Faces, the book that sort of led.
Oh my God, he did Dark Forces.
Oh, he did a Dark
Oh
Forces
my
one,
God,
yeah.
I didn't
You should
know
watch
this.
that.
I'm saving this to watch later. That's
but-
my favorite.
But he did the video, the Knights of the Old Republic video was partially about the games and also partly about how because George Lucas created Star Wars using like some elements from Hero of a Thousand Faces, the novel.
Yeah.
It's about like hero myths throughout history. People saw the success of that, and now like 90% of cinematic fiction is based on Hero of a Thousand Faces.
Yes.
Like the book is basically, it's kind of like, you know, all dramatic stories are based on like this essential element of the human mind, and we all instinctively go to this, and it's like it's not necessarily true, but since that worked for Star Wars, now everybody's like, well, we gotta go with that.
We're gonna do that,
which is
yeah.
why a lot of movies are all exactly the same now.
Sounds like something Jordan Peterson would say all the time.
But he'd say it in that Kermit the Frog voice. I hadn't heard him talk until quite recently.
It's
and I'm
crazy,
like,
right?
"Whoa, really?"
Yeah. He also said he confirmed this with Josh Horowitz, who you might know. He's a great interviewer. He's always doing an interview. He's good at it too. He's always getting out information. They asked about whether Man of Steel was ever going to be part of the Dark Knight universe, which I suspected. I always suspected, and he said this.
Yes.
It was not 100% off the table. We did talk about it a little bit. It would have been Joseph, as in Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which would have been cool. I like
As Superman.
Batman.
Right.
Because he was Batman in the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
And he would have
yeah.
met Henry Cavill, Superman.
Right, interesting.
I like that his thing doesn't get muddled by these other touches. But I knew it.
Yes.
I always suspected. Like Nolan being on board as a producer, wanting to keep the Dark Knight universe alive. It makes total sense that they would have at least considered it.
Sometimes, though, I think Zack Snyder just throw out stuff just to see what'll happen.
Yeah, you might be right.
Like, just idea. It'd be like, yeah, of course we did.
Or you could just say that I'm right, Mason. You could just yes and me.
Nope.
But whatever.
Nope.
Not on your birthday.
That's right.
Which is either today or tomorrow or yesterday or a different day.
That's right.
Yeah, very good. Last bit of news via The Hollywood Reporter. Joker 2 is in the works, apparently.
Some more Jonka news. Terrific.
No, this is different. Jonka
No, but it's part of the Jonka expanded universe, which is both Willy Wonka and Joker movies. And we're chucking Cruella in there as well. That counts.
Sounds good to me. So Todd Phillips is going to
Put
co-write.
Solo in there.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Todd Phillips is going to co-write.
Okay.
Who directed the first and wrote the first. I would say he's probably going to return to direct. We don't know anything else beyond this except that, of course, they're going to do this because that movie made $1 billion.
Made literally $1 billion,
dollars.
didn't it? Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested though to see like how they're going to come at this again. And they're going to build it into its own Batman universe. Is there going to be multiple Jonkas running about?
Well, this is from, I saw this tweet. This is from Tyler Glale on Twitter, who I think is a game developer. And they said, I hope Joker 2 is another origin story for a new, different Joker. Just a universe where everyone becomes the Joker independently and starts stepping on each other's toes.
Big floppy shoes.
Next tweet. The public starts getting tired of it after a while. Someone stands up and starts talking about society and the crowd shouts, we get it, just put on the makeup already. I think that would be great. There's multiple Jokers, and they're all just killing Wayne families.
Yeah, why not?
Just finding different Wayne
Just
families,
anyone.
like the Terminator
like
in that
Sarah
first
Connor,
one.
yeah, just going through the phone book. And it would be the phone book because it's the 80s or something.
That's right.
My
That's
God.
how you know.
That's how you know.
Set dressing.
Yeah, do you remember phone booths? And do you remember how they'd have
remember the movie phone booth
Yeah,
with
but do you
Colin
remember there were
Farrell.
phone books in phone booths?
Yes.
And you could flick through a grubby phone book
Yeah.
to find a number?
But eventually all those phone books were torn off and used to beat people. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about this, but I passed one of those relatively recently with my son.
A beating.
A phone book. Yeah, beating. And I'm like, yeah, that's a beating. It's a standard beating.
Sure.
But and then he said,
So
"What's
straighten up.
Yeah, and he said, "What's that behind the beating?" And I said,
yeah.
"Oh, that's a phone booth."
No one's ever wondered that before.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, what we'll do? We'll call mum. We'll call mum on it." But I called Claire, but she didn't pick up because, of course, it's a weird random
number. She would be
whatever.
like, no. It's-
So I'm like, this would have been a great experience, but it's not.
but it was a bad experience. You can also text on
Free?
No. Yeah, you can text on a
Like-
public phone.
On the way you used to with
Yeah, old school style. Yeah.
hated that.
But it's all I can't remember pointing this out, but it's all caps. So anytime you send, so
Just
it's
a cry for help.
So whenever, because you can't do lowercase, so whenever
Yeah.
anybody gets it, so if you lost your phone and you send a text or something, you send a text to somebody, it's from an unknown number and it's all caps. So you got to be very careful about what you were texting to somebody.
And it cost you 60 cents
And 60
for 30
cents
characters or
yeah,
whatever.
probably.
Yeah, great. All right, Mason, that's been a lot of news, hasn't it?
Yes.
I agree.
Madness.
Madness.
You just looked off into the middle distance and you were like, madness.
There was
Oh.
There's an ad-free feed of this
That's
if
right.
You're at bigsandwich.co, which goes up a day early.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, here's the ad for this week. Okay, everybody listening to this, I want you to picture a tiny apartment in Southern California. I want you to picture two people in there, two college dropouts, right? They teamed up. You think it's over for them. They've dropped out of college It's not the end, Mason.
You'd think those guys would be just in an apartment, just like nunchuck fighting for scraps. But they
No,
didn't give up. They didn't
no,
give up.
No. Because they teamed up to create a watch company that broke all the rules with fair prices, unexpected colors, and clean original designs. Movement grew into one of the fastest growing watch brands, shipping to over 160 countries across the globe. What do you think of that?
I loved it. I love that riff that you just did.
Thank
about
you.
It's pronouncing a word.
Now Movement has expanded into blue light glasses that protect your eyes from your screens, minimalist jewelry, and more style essentials that don't break the bank, all designed out of their California headquarters. Mason, I want you to pick a watch that you personally like to wear. Do you know what I mean? And tell me about it.
You know what I love? I love their field watches.
Okay.
They look rough and ready, but they're not boring. They just look a little. They're a great outdoor watch.
That's what I like to hear. Do you?
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the outdoors, but I can pretend.
Wow, that's amazing. You're a real chameleon. It's also got an unbeatable price point because Movement watches, they have the look and quality of a $400 to $500 watch. You know, something you'd pay at a department store if you were so inclined to make it. Yeah, if you wanted to make a terrible decision.
If I went outside.
Yeah, that's right.
Unlikely.
But they cost a fraction of the price because they're built online and they own their process from start to finish. So you get a beautiful watch shipped right to your door for free. And if you don't love it, you can ship it right back, also for free. Now, blue light glasses, Mason, you know I'm a fan. I'm holding a pair literally right now. Look at these.
He's about to put them on. He's about to put them on.
I'm going to put them on.
He's not miming putting them on. He's really putting them on.
I'm putting them on.
They're on right now, folks.
I've got to spend, people can tell, they can hear that they're on. I got to spend all day in front
And
of
let me tell you, you're looking handsome now.
I got to spend all day in front of my computer, Mason, and my Everscroll blue light filtering glasses are a game changer. It really helps with eye strain and poor sleeping patterns, and I love the modern style of the frames. I literally wear these every night. Now, if you want to elevate your look with a style that doesn't break the bank, then join the movement and get 15% off. That's
huge.
What a deal, with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/weeklyplanet. Again, that's mvmt.com/weeklyplanet. Check it out, mate. I love these glasses. I wear them. Claire, you're in the room. Do I wear them every day?
Every bloody day, mate.
Every day. There you go. I'm with the show.
Bit rude, but all right, yes.
All right, everybody. It's time for us to talk about Everybody Shut Up Part 2, the sequel to Everybody Just Pipe Down. Whatever. Shh. Big aliens. There's big aliens. There's big monsters. You guys need to calm down.
It's your own time you're wasting.
That's right.
And your own family. It's your own family you're getting wasted.
Now, last time we talked about A Quiet Place, we couldn't get a guest on. We didn't have the technology. Podcasting hadn't come that far yet, had it?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, but luckily things have been updated since 2018.
There wasn't anyone worthy of being a guest when we talked about the last A Quiet Place, which, if I remember correctly, was pretty okay.
Yeah.
But someone stepped up to the plate. They've stepped up their podcasting game.
Oh, yeah.
So this week we are joined by my wife,
Hello.
the lovely Claire
I'm
Tonti.
here.
We do a podcast together, don't we, Claire?
We just certainly do. It's called Suggestible. I'm here. And also, I'm ruining your chemistry.
That's what we love. We like people coming in. We like people stepping on our jokes. We like people getting mad that we have guests. Those are all the things that we enjoy.
And I'm happy to oblige. I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here to do all those things for you.
Now, we've got you on specifically because you're not a horror fan, but...
I thought you were going to say you're not horrible.
Yeah, you're not horrible.
And I'm glad you don't think I am.
Mason and I have decided, we took a poll, and we decided that you're not horrible. It was
Who do we know
50-50.
that's not horrible? Oh.
I know. Also, we're living in lockdown time, so I'm the only guest you could get.
Yeah, well, that's
to be
also
honest.
true. That is right. But no, you not a horror fan, but you were a fan of A Quiet Place Part 1. Is that correct?
Definitely. I loved A Quiet Place 1. I loved it so much until you told me about all the plot holes.
That's what I love to do.
Genuinely do.
Yeah.
I'm that guy at a party. Oh, that's your favorite movie, is
Yeah.
it? Oh, that's your favorite movie?
Claire,
Well, how did Batman even get back into the city?
Claire, oftentimes we play a game where you tell me about a comedian that you love, and then I tell you all the horrible behind-the-scenes things that make you like them less.
You've done that to me so many times. I get so mad at you. I get more mad at you than at the actual comedian.
Yeah, that's
And I
right.
get
You're the
real
real monster,
sad.
Mason.
I agree.
No, turns out everyone I like is horrible.
Yeah, that is-
including you too.
She's
No.
not bloody wrong, am I right, Mason?
Well, we're softening the blow.
Yeah.
Because we're like, all those comedians you like, they're terrible, and the other two you don't like, we're also terrible.
That's it. So this movie, just to clarify some stuff, it was supposed to come out March of last year. There was a big pandemic. You all remember it. We all had it. We all had the same one.
I'm glad it's all over.
Oh, Claire, so naive. We're back in one. We're back in lockdown now, aren't we, Mason?
That's right.
We're bloody back again.
But this new one had a budget of $61 million. And
This new lockdown.
This not. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. which is not enough to give people all the money to survive. No, so the movie had a budget of $61 million.
How many? 61 million. That's so many.
Yeah, I agree. It's a many millions.
Many millions. US dollars?
US dollars.
Or dollary dues?
No, US dollary dues aren't worth
Dollary
jack
dues?
shit.
Is that how I say it?
That's how you say it. Yeah.
Dollary dues.
You're really endearing yourself to fans of both The Simpsons and this podcast. But it looks like in its 4-day weekend, it's going to make $57 million in the US alone, which means it's doing really well considering the lockdown is easing in most places. It actually beat out Cruella in the cinemas.
You keep saying it as Corella. It's
Yeah.
Cruella.
No, it's Cruella.
Every time he says Corella, and I go, what?
Like the bird.
Like the mandolin, like the captain's mandolin.
Thank you, mate. So I did the same thing the other day. I said, what bloody talking
So
about?
it's Cruella.
Yes,
Corella, the birds that like circle our house.
it's Toyota Cruella.
Anyway, so look, we'll probably talk about Cruella on Suggestible
his
this
mind.
week.
Yeah.
Because our podcast is basically this, but without Nick Mason. We had a poll and we decided, you didn't make the cut actually.
Hey,
And
we had him on one episode, but
he
we
did,
decided
yeah.
after that it was so
Yeah,
bad.
that's right.
No more.
We got many complaints. But so we basically just recommend stuff, don't we? We'll watch, read and listen and
Correct.
whatever.
It's called Suggestible.
That's
and
right.
I suggest that everybody looks at
agree.
Nick Mason's amazing reindeer jumper.
All right, let's all have a look.
Let's all look in
Pretty
this
good.
audio
wow,
medium.
okay, well. So, I mean, that's your episode of Suggestible this week, can't I guess? Just clip that and put it in. Opening titles, put an ad in, and then...
We're good to go.
Bob's your uncle.
Anyway, that's linked below and comes out Thursday. There's a huge back catalogue if people do want to check it out. But Mason, what do you think the story was?
Hey, Claire, what do you think the story was?
Whoa!
Oh, no!
A deflection!
Yeah, that's
A
right.
deflection. No one prepared me for this. All right, the story is...
Was.
What?
What do you think the story was?
Do you mean in the past or now? No, was.
Was
Sorry,
it?
was.
What do you think it was?
All right, okay, do I do it seriously? Do I set the scene?
We do it seriously.
Do I
We
tell
take
the
it
story?
very seriously, Claire.
All right, okay.
Anyway, I'm
okay.
on my phone now.
All right, just tapped out. That's okay, mate. So you can tap out. I'll just tell everyone, everyone get comfy. Everyone get cozy.
This has to be short, by
I'm
the way.
going to tell a story.
Yeah.
I'm going to start at the very beginning.
No, because that was the
At
first
the
movie.
dawn of time. No, really. Is it quick? Short? Sharp?
Yeah, just a
All
quick
right,
synopsis.
So, of the first movie or the second one?
Well, I mean, they blend into each other, don't they?
All right, so it was silent because of the big monsters that came.
Yep.
And then there's a family, and then a kid got taken. Whoop!
Yep.
And then there was less kids by one.
Yes, but
But John Krasinski,
How do you feel about that,
aka,
Claire? When there's one less kid, how would you feel?
oh look, not totally happy.
well, they fill the void because they have another kid.
Yeah, but also it'd be easier with like only two.
I mean, emotionally, probably not as much.
No, but
Yeah.
but like if you're living in an apocalypse,
Yeah.
you tell what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't have bloody get up the duff again. That's
No,
what
you
I
really
wouldn't
wouldn't,
do.
yeah.
In an apocalypse, crazy. But that's what she does.
They're a
She
hot and
gets up
heavy
the duff.
Hollywood couple, so of course they're going to get up the duff.
They get up the duff in the quiet place
Yep.
where it's no noise.
Yep.
And she knows she has to give birth at some point where she has to scream all the time a
Yeah.
lot.
This is a great recap of the other movie. This you're doing really
All
well.
right, so fast forward, she gives birth, the big monster was chasing her, and then she like gives birth in a bathtub, who knows why. And then everything's fine, except, oh no, John Krasinski's dead, the dad. And so now she's stuck with 2 kids, a baby, and no husband.
Yep.
Dumb. Don't get up the duff in a pandemic.
Man,
In a
useless.
pandemic.
Yeah.
No, I did that. I got up the duff in a pandemic.
You were
But
pre-pandemic.
that is not apocalypse. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Number 2. I've set the
Yes.
scene
Yeah.
in the one.
Okay.
And now, can I?
You can. I want you to. I want you to do it.
Is this every week on Suggestible? Is this how it goes?
Pretty much.
So number 2, it's still quiet. No one says anything. They're still monsters.
Yep.
Except they've figured out that the girl who is deaf has a hearing aid, and if she puts it on the speaker, then the monsters die
Yep.
for some reason.
Yeah.
And but not completely. You have to hit them in the face with a gun.
That's correct.
And they, for some reason, leave their home and put the baby in a box,
Yeah.
and then they go on adventures. I can't do any more spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
yeah.
that's it.
The way we do things, we do non-spoilers, just some vaguerities. I meant to rewatch the first one. Why are they leaving the farm?
Because they saw a fire across the ridge.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
And it was coming?
No, they saw like a signal fire.
Oh, I
Which
thought you meant
is
there was a fire
but
coming.
the signal fire, does that signify like just that there's more people around, or that there's like people that are going to save them or something?
Just the first one, I think.
Yeah, but see, that's what didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
It's just because there's other people around doesn't mean they're going to be great. which turns out, spoiler alert, could
Yeah.
be true or not true.
Oh, not true. That's so true. For me, this feels very much the same as the first one. I think I might have liked it a bit better because all the rules are established and things kind of moved forward. I liked that it moved locations, even though I didn't understand why you
You
were
liked
leaving.
it?
I liked the what you were saying, Claire, like the world, like we get a sense that this is like this really kind of provincial world where like you don't even know what's happening one town over.
Yeah.
Like you can't even like is
You
there
just
anybody
can't even.
You just can't
You
God, I just can't even in this world.
Yeah, because
But
the
it's-
soundtrack ends, and then who knows what's after.
and it's
the
like you can't
soundtrack.
call someone, even if the electricity or the mobile service was working. If you called another town, you could get everyone murdered there.
Yeah.
So like it's like living in a medieval world, like where you could be attacked by monsters at any moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a regular medieval world, the monster is a cow.
Yeah, can't kill you in medieval
a
times.
silent cow, a cow
Yes.
that likes noise.
Yeah, both, I reckon.
I
Yeah.
see.
They had both then, I think, didn't they?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I did like also that it picked up straight after the last one. I liked that we knew that because they had the whiteboard that says, "What is the weakness? What is?" I know that was one of your favorite things from the last one.
Absolutely, yeah. The whiteboard of exposition.
Yeah. Do you think they rewrote it? Because you have to get that perfect.
No, I reckon that's probably not even real. I reckon that's probably like they took a screen grab of the previous one and they visual effected it onto a
think you're right.
onto a green screen, so they didn't have to do any changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did. It also
Unless they were like, this is going to be so good, we are definitely getting a sequel. So we just leave everything as it
touch
is.
the whiteboard.
Just leave this town abandoned. Keep everybody out of this town. We evicted thousands of people from this town. Let's keep them out for a couple of years.
It's pretty incredible they managed to I mean, I guess they kept all the sets and they had the location, but it looks pretty much the same as the first one. Again, I didn't rewatch the first one, but it does feel like they were filmed at the same time.
I also really just liked the setup of the beginning
Yeah.
of the second one. I just really loved seeing John Krasinski again as well
I bet you
because I
bloody
bloody
did.
love him. No, I just think he's great and funny, and he wrote and directed it, and it's cool.
Yes.
But I just what I don't understand is he keeps saying in interviews that he wrote both of them as a love letter for his kids. It's a pretty bloody scary love letter. That's all I'm saying. How is that? Like, how does that work?
That he loves his kids so much he would protect them in an apocalypse.
Oh,
I reckon he
yes.
read it to them at night. And anyway, and then a monster took your brother, and then it took me, and I didn't come back. I wasn't in the sequel.
That's right.
But that's what I mean. I don't know, because isn't it?
You're not good at baseball.
I'm still around, but just in your memories because I'm dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Anyway, good night forever.
Yeah, that's what I just find it really like quite a weird thing to say, even though I get it. Like the sentiment
Yeah.
is beautiful, but also
It's about survival and family, and
Yeah, but like of course you would want to protect your kids in an apocalypse.
Yeah.
And the whole kind of point of it is how great he is at protecting them. He's so awesome that he like manages to protect them
like
I mean,
until he dies.
The
basically,
novelty
in
would
the
be
first
if it
one.
was like, I wanted to write a movie about how I wouldn't protect my kids in the event of an apocalypse. And it's just him, Forrest Gump, running just out of the state.
I'm off to the Hollywood Hills. Just up
But
the hill.
yeah, James, you were right in I didn't go back and watch the first
Yeah.
one, but it feels like all the kids are still the same
Yeah.
age. Is it?
I guess
is that
that's
just
because-
because I can't tell the difference between like an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old?
I think that.
I think it's
Yeah.
that, but I think it's also this movie should have been out by a year.
Oh, that's true. So it would have been filmed quite close to the
So
end of the
I
previous
think for the next one, which they will do, I think they'd have to do a small time jump.
Because I feel like this one feels like the middle one in a trilogy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel finished.
Well, my complaint of this is it feels like an episode of a show in the middle of like an 8-part series.
Oh, okay. So the scene is sort of still being established.
Yeah.
We're not up to the big reveal of the big bad guy.
Oh, do you reckon there's an even bigger, scarier monster that can hear even less? What do you reckon? No, more. You
more.
can hear
I
even
think
more.
I was going to say more.
No, it can't hear as
exactly.
much.
Whoa.
What I really enjoy that is James like doing your like actual visual kind of thing of the monster.
Must be getting
Kind
to
of
the
like
spirit.
a weird goose stepping octopus, just like flailing about.
Did anyone else though feel it, like, because it was 97 minutes long, which I think it was a little bit longer than the first one. Did anyone else feel like it was just kind of getting going and it didn't reach like a
Yeah,
satisfying
that's
conclusion?
what I mean. It just didn't feel. It felt too short.
Mm.
The other thing that really annoyed me, Emily Blunt, who I always love as
Yeah.
Evelyn, as the sort of the main character, I guess, in this. What's that scratching at the
Dog's trying to get out.
Oh,
Or something's trying to get in.
or something's trying to get in. Oh God, be silent. Oh no.
It's that monster that can hear less. It's fine.
We
can
should be
still-
all right.
We can still talk. It's okay.
Just trying to imagine.
It can only hear when you sing.
What's going on in there?
So you can talk, but there's just
Banging
no
like a
joy in
big
your
gong.
life.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. Anyway, Emily Blunt I thought was so great in this. Emily Blunt and Millicent Simmons, who's her daughter
Yeah.
Regan, I thought were the two standouts.
She's really good. Yeah,
She's
I think
amazing.
they're all really good. That family.
Oh,
in
they
general,
are. They're
yeah.
all. I mean, yeah, Noah Jupe. Everyone is really good. What I liked about Emily Blunt's character is how miserable she looks through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I really believe her misery and like her love of her kids and all that stuff. But what annoyed me was that she's just given birth and she doesn't
yeah.
breastfeed. She
I was
doesn't
go-
breastfeed in a
I
single
was going
bit.
to ask you specifically about how you feel about a woman who just gave birth
In a bathtub.
In a bathtub. Then the last movie, like, racks a shotgun and looks at the camera and goes, "Let's go," or whatever happens, and they run across town. How do you feel about all that?
Yeah, all right. So, look, to be fair, I've had a friend who gave birth in 2 hours
Yeah.
and felt like she could hike up a mountain afterwards because of all the adrenaline.
Yeah.
So when you first give birth, I believe that. If it went, I mean, obviously it's all about feeling comfortable and safe, and she did it in a bathtub with a giant monster approaching. Probably not the feeling of safety that a woman would normally want in her
Sure.
birth plan.
Yeah.
However,
The
yeah.
doctor doesn't put it in the birth plan a lot.
Can you ask for that?
Yeah. Please have a monster that can hear less or hear more. Anyway, yeah. So, and then the trauma of her partner dying and that stuff. But I do think a little bit plausibly she could have got all that adrenaline and hormones
Yeah,
and
sure.
somehow be like bleeding internally or whatever, but do it all.
It's
Yeah.
the mum can lift the car syndrome.
Thank you. And protect her kids and all the things.
Yeah.
But what I don't get is like after that all dissipates, she's like immediately hiking. She's like,
Yeah.
right, I know what we need to do. Leave our home with all the food and all the
Yes.
things and immediately take my baby.
Carrying a chest.
Carrying a chest with my baby with
Yeah.
only one oxygen tank, which clearly is going to run out.
Would you have stayed if it was you?
Yeah, immediately, yes.
Yeah.
Because they had food and all the stuff. And also, she's just bloody giving birth. She's not freaking sleeping. And the thing that annoyed me the most was the bloody breastfeeding thing because she has to keep her child alive and the monsters are chasing her. And everyone knows you need to relax in order to breastfeed. I'm shocking all the people on the podcast.
It is shocking.
Right now. It's shocking.
Wasn't
But,
the
you
first
know,
few
it
days
really annoyed me.
But isn't the first few days of breastfeeding all about getting the colostrum, and it's really about waiting for your milk to come in?
Showing his expertise
Just
now.
saying, Mason.
Show off.
This is what Mason
Yeah.
told me before the show. So this is really his words.
Correct. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Correct, James.
Okay,
You're
well there you
spot
go.
on.
So
But-
it works out.
But there's just, I would have loved, I actually, as a woman, I hate when people say that, but anyway, I will.
love it. I think it's empowering.
I only hate it when men say it because it's inaccurate.
I don't want to come onto the podcast and immediately be like, you know what I want to talk about? Breasts, because I'm a woman. No, but that annoyed me because I think there's an opportunity there to explore the fact that she's given birth and the aftermath of that and just how much harder. But all they kind of show for how hard it is that she limps a little bit.
Yeah, and that's probably from the nail she stepped
Yeah, she
on.
stepped on that nail
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
last
So
one.
there
Yeah.
doesn't really seem to be any other kind of effects from that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but even so, I really enjoyed it, and I really liked how they positioned Millicent Simmons' character Regan as kind of the hero.
She's the new John Krasinski.
She is,
She's
apparently.
the new Jack Ryan.
Because it's a love letter to his children, and
Yeah.
he needed to somehow get in the fact how amazing he is.
Yeah, my love letter to you is how you're a lot like me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I really
That's
had a
amazing.
problem with. I was just like, so
You're not like your mother, you're like me.
Yeah, exactly. I also just really loved how they centered deafness and American Sign Language as the
Yeah.
heroism of the
Yes.
story. In her, like, it's kind of all part of it, which is really beautiful.
I think that's really cool about how their story of survival is more effective than everybody else's based on that alone. Because that would be the one thing that, you would have an advantage over literally everybody else that you come across.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Except a guy with a flamethrower. That's all I'm saying.
No, they're flamethrower proof. We see that
yeah, I
in the
know.
movie.
I feel that's a plot hole.
That's a plot hole.
That's a plot hole, guys.
that's what I didn't understand. Why didn't they just keep shooting them?
Because you got to
And
wait till
with
their
the-
heads are... Oh, yeah, because
But
they have the weapon.
they have the weapon.
Yeah.
So they use it initially. Why don't they just keep doing that?
Yeah.
Making the noise,
What-
shooting them in the face.
Yeah.
Boom.
What I liked about the monsters this time is you see more of them. I always like the way that they move. They're kind of like tarantula-like.
Yeah.
There's something really unnerving about the way that they move, and maybe they have a second weak. 2 weaknesses. Put that on your whiteboard ×2. But
Big rolled up newspaper. Is that what you is that the second?
put them in a big jar.
Yeah.
Take them outside, put them in the garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like when you kill the 1 or 2 in your area, I think it's 3 because that's what it says on the whiteboard. Then they kind of fill in the gap and like more appear. You could just kind of do that until you get most of them. You know what I mean? You could every day you could go out and just reel another one in and shoot it in the head. You could just do that every day.
But that's what I mean. Why didn't they just stay in the house and do that?
It's stressful.
Yeah,
Probably
that would
not.
be stressful.
Yeah.
I'd feel stressed out doing that every day. I'd be like, oh,
Do you think you'd get used to it?
nope.
I become like a chore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also that there's kind of 2 storylines before we get into spoilers where the family splits off and one of them goes with Cillian Murphy. And I thought Cillian Murphy's character was really interesting, more so than John Krasinski's, because he's clearly deeply flawed. And from the moment you're introduced in him, well, we didn't mention, but up top there is a flashback where John Krasinski is in it.
And he's like, you and me are good friends, Cillian Murphy.
Yes. We
Yeah.
know
Let's
each
do a
other.
manly handshake. You're not as good as me. But you're okay. You're deeply flawed as a man.
Yeah.
But you'll do all right.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I really enjoyed that.
I can keep my family alive. Cillian Murphy.
More like Killian your family. Murphy. That's your name.
But yeah, I thought he was a really interesting and compelling character that has a really great arc, and you kind of don't know what way he's going to go. Because when you meet him, it's like, this guy's on the fucking edge. Like, and this
Yeah.
could go any which way. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I liked some of the stuff that I liked. Maybe I didn't think about it in the first one, but just the fact that they're walking around with no shoes on is very tense
It's
for
so
me.
upsetting.
The whole movie is just me going
I got soft baby feet.
like, and but it's interesting that such a simple thing is so like that works. It works for me
Yeah.
at least in like ratcheting up the tension. It's just like why not take their shoes off? That's ooh.
It's a great point.
But yeah, but I liked that. Yeah, we did kind of at one point we sort of have like 3 separate plot
Yeah.
threads that are all sort of coming to a head tension wise at the same time. I thought that was very effective. And there are a lot of setups in this that have like kind of payoffs that are kind of a bit on the nose where you're like, really? Okay, is that
Is it this thing?
it is that, yeah, it's that
Yeah, I'm
thing.
doing the thing.
But at least
I
there
can't
is
say it, it's a
at least there
spoiler.
are setups that have payoffs as
Yeah.
opposed to some movies we've seen recently that are all set up and no payoff.
Sure.
Which, Army of the Dead.
Did you watch Army of the Dead, Claire? It's on Netflix.
If I said yes, would you fall off your chair?
Sure.
Yeah, yes.
I'm not going to fall off my chair because I know she's lying.
Yeah.
You wouldn't sit down for the 1,000 hours that Army of the Dead
Are you
goes for.
no, I would never watch anything called Army of the Dead. Are you serious? I get mad at you when you show me something slightly scary.
Would I make you watch Army of the Dead?
Yeah, you do. I seriously do. If it's too scary, I stand up and get real mad. It's like when you fart in the room and I get really mad.
I
at
would
you.
never. I would
You
never.
do. They're the ones where we've had the worst fights when it's so stinky and I'm all cozy in bed. No.
Well, you
it's
should have
no
put it in
good.
our vows for me not to do
I
that.
should have, Maso.
Mm-hmm.
I should have.
I also thought there were some story elements in this movie where you could have spread that over a couple of movies because they run into kind of 2 groups of people with vastly different living experiences. And we don't really get enough of either, I feel. I feel like one of the
It should have
movies...
been one movie about
Yes.
group 1 and then the next could be
Yeah.
about group 2, yeah.
More of like, and then you do the group 1 movie and then you do a little bit of the second one at the end, at the end and then in the next movie. Does anyone else feel that that's...
Do you mean are we doing
Should we
spoilers,
just do spoilers?
yet?
Let's do spoilers. I think that I found them both to be pretty satisfying.
That's
I
liked them. Yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
I'm totally okay if this is the last one. Like I enjoyed this a lot, but I'm like, we'll talk about it in spoilers. I
Yeah.
think. But I'm gonna say best movie ever. Claire, how do you feel about it?
Best movie ever.
I liked it. I think it's got
Yeah, I liked it
like the
too.
first one, it's got like a bunch of like plot holes, but I don't care. These are good enough. These are pretty decent, aren't they? And they've got good performances, and the central characters are compelling and charismatic, and it's got some interesting ideas, even if they don't all come together. And why didn't the army figure out the monsters?
Weakness,
Fire a
yeah,
sonic
yeah, yeah.
cannon
Do you
at
know
them.
what I-
Oh, and the other weakness they
Yeah.
obviously have. when the second weakness is revealed, I'm like, oh, someone should have figured that out a long time ago.
Do you know the thing that got me, I reckon, the most? That I know you said, Maso, about the no shoes thing, which, to be fair, full on. The other thing that got me that I found the most anxiety-inducing is the baby in the chest.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the breathing thing and when the oxygen's going. And I kept having to say to myself, they're not going to let the baby die inside the chest. Like they're not going to do that because I became irrationally terrified by that. Did you find that affect you?
Oh, I think the same as you. I was like, I mean, it was tense. Don't get me wrong, but I knew John Krasinski wouldn't kill another one of his kids.
Good old JK.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that. That wouldn't be a good love letter.
No.
No, true. But yeah, I found that particularly stressful.
Yeah.
That whole storyline just.
I like the baby's tiny little oxygen mask. Like they were a tiny little fighter pilot.
That's pretty cute.
Anyway, let's do some
Some
spoilers.
spoilers.
Okay, let's do it.
So they can't swim.
Yep.
They they don't look like they can swim.
No.
I guess they're dense.
Well, yeah, because they're not vulnerable to water because at one point a sprinkler goes off.
Yeah.
And one is getting drenched and it
You
seems
see
to be
one have
fine.
a bath, have a
So,
shower.
yeah, that's right.
So it starts soaping up with a shower cap on, with a
And
big,
it's like, ooh,
big
tea.
scrubbing brush.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess they're probably too heavy to.
Yeah,
Or they're.
too big to fail.
Oh, support the big banks. But I guess my question is because at the end of in the third act of the movie, we think one of them's drowned, but it's ended up on the boat.
Yeah,
And it makes it to the idyllic island where they avoided being massacred by these monsters.
yeah.
Because they're completely instinctual.
Yes.
So why wouldn't it simply attack everybody who's on the boat?
I think, as Claire pointed out to me, because I went to the toilet in this part, that was a different boat that drifted.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it drift. So it didn't. They didn't drive it there, and then
Yeah, that's what I was.
'cause she,
Yeah.
they,
Good thing Claire was here because we both would have got that
Yeah.
wrong, and we would have got 1,000 messages.
That's right.
Okay, so let me point it out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, because the boat that he gets on is the one that she finds him.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know, she pulls out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's more of a rowboat, whereas that was
correct. A big kind of what would you call that? A tugboat?
It's a tugboat.
Looks like a tugboat.
It's a Popeye tugboat.
Correct. Yeah, and that's also why I think the monster doesn't attack immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously drifted. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a pretty big coincidence that it would drift all the way to the island. But it
yeah.
obviously,
Tides.
because it's not like he's got a little paddle and the alien's
Tides,
like
Yeah.
paddling away.
Maybe
or
it was
something.
paddling.
Yeah, true. What I don't
I always wanted to get to
understand.
this fucking island. Now I've got my one opportunity.
What I didn't understand is because obviously this is a big spoiler that like they find this island because of the music that's been playing,
Yeah.
where everyone is free from the monsters because they can't swim.
Yeah.
And what I don't understand is why when the monster gets there, everyone is so shocked that there could be a monster and there didn't seem to be any real plan.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
right.
understand that because if you're on an island that's less than a K from like giant
Yeah.
apocalyptic aliens,
Yeah.
of course you would have
And you've
some
got a
kind of
message
plan.
that's like, come to this
Well,
island.
my question, and that's a good point, Claire, but my question was also, why is the message cryptic?
I thought it was like a screening thing. Like, we don't want no idiots.
But
we
I
want
mean-
music lovers.
But you might have, but
And
that's the thing,
savants.
because we have. Well, that's the thing because we have, like, based on this, there are two groups of people who are not on the island, like regular nice people and psychopaths.
Yeah.
But what if you get a smart psychopath? What if there are a bunch of really dumb nice people out there who can't figure it out, and a bunch of really smart psychopaths who can figure it out, and they go to the island? And you might say, well, it's because it's a recording. And they're sending out the recording, and they don't need any. They can't have somebody in the room, but it's on a record player,
Yes.
which will get to the end and stop. So there needs to be somebody in the room to reset the record player. So there may as well just be
I
somebody
presume
in
it
there
had an
being like,
automatic read.
That's
thing.
not a
Record
thing.
players have that, don't they?
no.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
Yeah, but depending on the record player you've
Okay,
got,
right.
not off.
I think there should just be a guy in there. Everybody should take a shift and be
Yeah.
like, we're on the island. Because it's not like the monsters can be like, oh, they're on the island.
Yeah.
Monsters don't understand radios.
Maybe they do, though.
So why is it on a record? Why didn't they just have a digital file that presses repeat on Spotify
Maybe they
or
didn't have a
something?
digital Spotify file.
Yeah, but they still have CD players, presumably.
I don't know if they do, Claire.
electricity.
Very presumptuous on your behalf, Claire.
And that's a really good point, Mason.
Maybe
I
they
hadn't
don't
thought
have a
of that.
sports Walkman on the island. One of those yellow ones.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Because
exactly.
I've got them all. I collected them.
I think that the Cillian Murphy's character was really compelling because he's lost everything when they find him. He's like, you can't stay here. And then you see like the steps that you almost see the wheels like turning in his head where he makes the decision. Like he gets pushed further and further every time he like has a conversation, and you see more of that empathy kind of sneak in until it culminates where they meet the weird salt-skinned boat people. Was that what
Yeah,
was happening there? They were living in the salt water. They're
What do you mean
all
they were
scurvied or something.
Oh,
They had red eyes.
That's what I thought. They were all like scurvied and saltwatered and malnutritioned and
I see. I was wondering whether they were like sort of bordering on that
Like
kind of zombie mutant
mutation.
thing.
oh, I just assumed they were cannibals.
is that what it does to you?
Probably.
That's so cool.
There was what makes you think they were cannibals? One was just like chewing on a leg in the background.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
And they had the song by Fine Young Cannibals on the record.
that's right.
I will.
And you both left for the toilet, but there is a moment where you see through their eyes, and Cillian Murphy and the daughter turn into big chickens, like big roast chickens.
With those lines coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Delicious.
delicious
Perfect.
lines.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, this is the bit you were referring to earlier, the bit where he knows the universal sign language for dive.
Because he learned that once. He
Yeah.
learned one sign language.
Yeah, that was a bit.
sign
But you could
once.
just go like, do your head tilt, just be like, "Oi."
dive. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't need to do that
Yeah.
because that's really obvious as well.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. And the way he does it with his eyes
Yeah.
wide, like,
Yeah. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
not like a secret sign language gesture. Anyway, but I like that. How he stabs that dude.
I
And
feel like in directing and producing and directing this movie, it feels like it's very much like it's been made by the numbers, but not in a bad way, in the sense that it's like, well, it's pretty stock standard, but like someone has clearly gone through this and gone, okay, well, if you set this up, you got to pay it off, and this has got to make sense, and etc. Whereas
Yeah.
a lot of movies will not, like, they don't care. Like, we watch a lot of movies that are big and flashy and impressive, and they're enjoyable to watch as just like, roll, as Martin Scorsese would say, a roller coaster.
Ooh, you can't
But
say
then,
that.
but then after that, you're like, none of this made any sense. How did?
Like the Angelina Jolie thing that we watched that you made me watch the other day with the
Again,
lightning
it's
that
always
kept
like,
attacking her.
I
for
make
no
her watch
reason.
these things.
The fire watch,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. I haven't seen
that
that.
one where like it's a firestorm, but also there's some killers, but
And there's
also
lightning.
and she just
She gets hit by lightning twice.
Yeah.
Two separate
That's
occasions.
very unlikely.
yeah.
I agree.
But it was at the
Apparently
same
so.
place.
No.
Oh well, then that's fine. happens all the time.
And there's like this giant bushfire that somehow just doesn't rage while she
Yeah.
can have
We talked
like
about
a
it on
fight.
Suggestible.
Oh.
last
We did.
episode before.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I had so many feels. Also, why is she just like in her bra or in like a white see-through t-shirt?
As I
all
said,
the
because it's
time?
sexy. Because it's sexy.
You
Claire.
just make. She's a firefighter. Anyway,
You've never seen a
So-
sexy firefighter?
Haven't you ever seen one of those calendars? Yeah.
Yeah. Tough
true.
stuff.
I take it all
Yeah.
back.
But I haven't seen it, but it reminds me of that game Firewatch. You remember that one?
It's very similar to the game
Yeah,
Firewatch, a
interesting.
game I have not played.
Okay.
But yes.
Well, it seems like we're in a new era of movies that are adapted from games, but
Sort
not
of.
really.
Yeah.
But they're legally. This movie's legally distinct from Five Nights at
It
Freddy's.
does feel
but-
that way.
yeah, the end scene of that felt like a video game.
Yeah.
With the flecks of dust or
It felt like
fire
it-
things.
Like, it did
floating
feel like a
around them.
Tomb Raider kind of like Uncharted boss fight at the end of
Really?
that movie. Yeah.
Should I watch it? I guess I'll
alright.
have to listen to Suggestible to find out.
That's right.
No, you just said it was all right. So
You could definitely watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Still at cinemas. But I also thought that the ending, the way it ended of like, we found out a way to kill the monster was the same way the last one ended.
But that's what I mean.
So that's why I'm
yeah,
like,
it's
is there
a bit
more
weird.
to this? I think there will be. But just
Right.
like, well, we killed two monsters.
no, I get that, but isn't it more? It wasn't the ending of this one more like, and we've now broadcast that to the world kind of thing.
Was it?
Well, my impression was there that would be broadcast. I mean, I guess there's no way to communicate that is there.
Yeah.
Like my feel.
Like you wouldn't, if you heard that, you wouldn't play it out loud,
no,
would
but
you?
my guess would be that this is gonna like the implication there is that information is gonna get out to the rest of the
Sure.
world, and they're all gonna
yeah,
do that.
but
and
maybe
then-
have that scene.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But even the fact that the kid was wearing the headphones as he's being attacked by the monster. Take your headphones off. Bloody kids in their headphones.
Right?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I liked how both of the kids, I know it was like a pure coincidence and like what a coming together of minds and ideas, and both of these kids are as good as John Krasinski in a way. And they both had their moment to kill a monster.
Yeah, and it was sort of the
I liked
idea
that.
of like the kids are all right. The
kids
kids
are John
gonna,
Krasinski.
the kids are I mean not as good.
No.
Maybe two of them equal one John Krasinski.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's the official math.
Yeah.
People
Correct.
want to jot that down.
Oh, the thing of official math. You know that I've just remembered the other thing that really got me in the feels was when the kid, what's his name?
Jeffrey.
No,
John Krasinski.
Marcus.
Ginger
Marcus.
Megs.
Ginger Megs. He is in there with they're running out of oxygen in that little room, and it's shut. He can't open the door. It's locked, and he's got the baby with him, and the baby needs oxygen, and so does he. And they're like swapping the tiny little oxygen mask, and
Now I'm a
she's
fighter
trying to
pilot.
get back to him. Yeah, exactly. Now I'm a fighter pilot. Now she's a fighter pilot. Anyway, and then when the mum gets there, because you sort of think, oh God, he's going to let the baby die so he can survive. And then he has the mask on the baby when the door opens.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'm hormonal. I know, but I got a bit teary.
Yeah.
Because I was
Do you
like,
think
look, he saved his sister over here.
Do you think Emily Blunt was like, oh, these bloody kids? Always, I leave for 5 minutes. But that was also one of those setups where it's like, oh, somebody is very obviously going to get locked in that.
Yes.
In that
completely.
little
When you see the towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But again, at least it paid off. At least it wasn't a
Yeah.
towel put over there and then it
never
never
was said
everything is
anything.
fine, you know.
Sweet pad though,
Totally.
right?
Oh yeah.
Sweet pad. You jump down a little tube onto a sack of flour or whatever.
Wee.
Wee, you say. I know, there
Oh,
you go.
a sack of wee.
Yeah. Wee, I'm having a good time.
It did feel like a little rabbit burrow or something.
It did, yeah. I like how he put his wife like up in the rafters.
Oh, yeah, that was awful.
That's just James, that's just where she died and he left her.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was going to be like genuinely. This is why it surprised me that he turned good and does heroic stuff. Also, Digimon Honsu got murdered. I didn't expect that.
That's right.
Except for the bit where he's like, "I have to get my son." I'm like, "Oh no!"
I'm so
What are
annoyed
you
for him
doing?
because I thought he was such a great character.
Yeah.
They didn't even give him a name. Do you know what his name is? Man on Island.
wow.
They didn't give him a name. And also,
Maybe you should have tried better then.
I just feel like when you meet him as a character,
Yeah.
he would immediately have had a better plan
Well,
if
he
the
put his
monsters
kids
got
in the
there.
cupboard, but it was also just a regular cupboard.
It was just a
Yeah.
regular, and everyone just seemed panicked. Like there wasn't a kind of
they just scattered.
They just scattered. Like I feel like in that kind of scenario, with
Yeah.
that length of time to prepare, you would have had, and he seemed like the kind of character that would have had like all of these like, you know, alerts.
I
But
guess
maybe
they
they
got
got
complacent.
I was going to say they
Yeah.
got complacent. They're like, probably won't happen. Don't worry about
The
it.
monsters that are
confident.
like
We'll do it on the day.
KOA.
We'll figure it out on the day.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, if he had been murdered straight up, that monster would have torn through everybody there in like a minute.
Yeah.
Because he was
That's
the only
true.
one who was like, I'll drive a car.
Sure.
A long way away, but then also panic that maybe the
Yeah.
monster hadn't followed them or something. Which actually, to be fair, that was pretty plausible.
Yeah.
That you would suddenly freak out.
So what do you guys expect from A Quiet Place 2? Shut up. Still be quiet. 3. Make that into a poster if you can. No, don't do that one.
I think they should just call it.
Shut up. Hey, shut up.
Hey, wear no shoes or something.
But do you think it's wrapped up enough?
Well, I mean, the question that I ask in watching these movies is where did the monsters come from?
Yeah.
But
Asteroids.
But this isn't a universe where they can be like, well, let's get the space, let's go into space, we'll get a shuttle together and we'll go into space
Yeah.
and we'll go to this alien's homeworld because everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Like the world is over. So.
I presume they're just like a parasite, kind of just on meteor.
Oh, just a standard,
Yeah.
parasite meteor sitch.
Well,
Yeah.
my feeling would be like it's like a weapon, like it's been deliberately
Oh, okay, cool.
dropped in.
Do you think that would ruin it to be like, there's even quieter aliens, even this one can't do a goddamn thing.
Maybe.
They're coming to work.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one that can hear a whole lot more. It's just
Yeah.
a giant ear.
I'm
just
also-
like descends through the atmosphere.
I can hear you. I can hear everyone.
It's just an ear talking.
The creators, they're super intelligent monsters, but they can't smell anything. We're immune to all your farts, they say.
But I don't know whether it's that kind of series where like there's going to be a larger invasion. I think it could
Yeah.
get more to War of the Worlds.
But would you watch another one where it's just kind of mostly the same?
Yes, because I
Okay.
think for me the family element of it is what works, and not like getting a laser and going up into space or whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
10 movies in.
A Quiet Place 3, we're getting a laser and we're going into space. Shh, though.
Don't tell them. We're going to get them, but don't tell
In
them.
space, we have the advantage because you can't hear nothing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Sorry, I just
No,
interrupted
no,
you,
it's good.
Mr. Son of Movies. I do it all the time at home, but I shouldn't on your show.
Not bloody
I'm
wrong,
sorry.
No, you
Right.
can do it. You can do it on the show. I do it all the time.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm interrupting everybody.
Because Claire, you would know that if you don't interrupt him, he doesn't stop.
He won't
just
stop.
keeps
Keep going.
rolling on
Yeah,
through.
can't
so.
stop, won't stop. Just talks bloody forever. It's
true.
Talks everybody's ear off. All right. Anyway, I don't know what I was going to say. What was I going to say?
You
What
said
was I talking about?
you interrupted me
Yeah,
did.
with
Because
the
I-
thing you don't remember anymore.
because I was about to say, let's wrap it up, boys.
Okay. No, that's what I was going to say. What I think would be interesting, because I agree, the family is what I found so interesting. The characters, Emily Blunt, I would watch in anything. She's bloody awesome. I think it would be interesting if the monsters all like they figure out how to kill them, right?
Yeah.
But then you're just left with this planet that barely has any people left.
Yeah.
And watching how they manage to navigate that, and then clearly the cannibal / crazy people who've like lost their minds, or I don't know, what did you say? Covered themselves in salt water or something?
No, I just think they were all saltwater damaged
Sure.
from living in the ocean.
But I think that could be interesting.
Bunch of Matthew McConaughey's
That's
just
right.
But they have the.
All right.
I love it. Do you know he has an audio version of his recent memoir?
yeah, I do, yeah.
Oh yeah, good.
Anyway, everything just
good.
worked out for me. Anyway, I just kind of just went along with it.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. I'm really rich. All right.
Really handsome. All right. Now, what was I going to say? Yeah, I just think that would be interesting if you had a movie where halfway, like people figured out how to kill the monsters, but then you had to try and figure out how to work together to actually achieve that. And there's not that many people left on the planet.
To how to kill the monsters, you're saying?
Like they've got the
their
technology.
monsters are gone.
No, they've got the technology to kill them. But then how does a planet where there's not that many people and a lot of people have like, got scurvy or are cannibals now, like how do you actually rid the planet of that?
Yeah.
And how does the family navigate all that? I don't know. Is that
How you
interesting?
corral a bunch of fine young cannibals to fight against
They're
the
driving
aliens.
us crazy.
And then what do you do once you solve it? Like how do you actually
Great questions all
Start.
around.
What's the monster society like? Or what do they sleep or do they
I don't think so.
Do they interact
I think
with
they
each other?
skulk.
Do they fight with each other?
I think they just spread out. So like one dies and they just expand their territory.
right.
But also there doesn't seem to be that, like they're not teaming with them. Do you know what I mean? They're not
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So there must be a limit to how fast they
You
can
know
do
do
what
they
it.
it's-
breed? What do they
Don't know.
You know what it's going to be, as it always is. There'll be the giant one that they all come
Yeah.
from. You know how there's always the giant one
You can
that's
hear
like
even
a giant
more
version
almost.
of it's just the giant ear or whatever it is. That's what it is, right? That
Yeah.
they all spawn from this one giant one and they have to figure out how to kill the one giant one and then they'll be fine.
How many of those meteors just dropped into the ocean?
Good question.
Yeah.
Could have been
Many.
worse then, I guess. Why are they all complaining? It could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Well, this says here Paramount Pictures hired a Jeff Nichols to write and direct a spin-off based on an idea from John Krasinski. In May 2021, Emily Blunt revealed that Krasinski has an idea for a potential third film. So Jeff Nichols has directed a bunch of movies I haven't seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you give me some?
In 2016, he directed I directed Midnight Special, the one that has Michael Shannon in it.
I liked that.
Okay. He directed Loving, and
Did
he
he-
directed In the Radiant City.
Did he direct any of the Never Back Down fighting movies?
Doesn't seem that way, no.
He sounds like the guy who maybe would have done that.
He's worked with Michael Shannon. He's worked with Joel Edgerton.
He sounds good.
Sam Shepard, Adam Driver.
Ah,
Oh, not the driver.
the driver.
He's a good one.
Big
that
D, they
driver.
call him.
The Big D.
Yeah,
Got
cool.
big ears. He'd be a good alien in this movie.
Oh, he's the alien
Incredible.
queen.
Yeah, he is. Like
Wow.
a giant version
Hi.
of him.
I'm so sorry. Cool. All right. Anyway, Claire, we can find you, can't we?
Somewhere.
At Claire Tonti.
Yeah,
You also have a newsletter.
I do. Comes out every Friday where I just talk about how much I don't like being married to James. No, I'm joking.
Whoa.
Maybe I should read this
It's
newsletter.
just a
Whoa.
love letter to James where I write
That's
a
better.
post-apocalyptic movie all about how much I love you.
And then you die.
And then
Whoa.
Meso dies.
It's up to me.
Oh, no. So that comes out every Friday, and I do Suggestible with you.
Yep.
Have we said Suggestible enough?
I think so.
Who knows?
And we've
Maybe.
got another. You've got another podcast on the way.
I do. I have another podcast coming out very soon.
Maybe you can swing back by to
Swing
spruik
back
that.
by.
When A
to
Quiet Place
spruik
3
it.
comes out, you can come and promote your podcast.
Or
But
Quiet
not a
Place
second
3.
before. Cool, cool.
Excellent.
Claire, do you want to stay for the What We Reading segment, or do you want to go?
Would you like me to stay or would you like me to go?
It's up to the guest. We leave it open to them, don't we, Mason?
That's right.
I will stay. Can I
Okay.
stay?
You can stay.
I'll
They
stay.
normally say
They
no.
never stay.
God damn. What do we do in this situation, James?
I
I
guess I
won't
just play
say
the theme.
anything. I'll just sit back here.
All right, everyone has to be quiet while I play the theme. I'm doing the theme. I fucked it up. I'm going to start it again. I'm doing the theme. What are we Westworld today? Do you know what that means? She doesn't listen to the show, Mason.
Whoa.
Unbelievable.
Wow, Trouble in Paradise.
I know.
But we've talked about what we watched. Krella. What, has anyone watched anything else?
Well, you said you did watch it.
No, I did watch it. We're going to talk about it on Suggestible, I should say.
Oh.
But I
Okay,
didn't hate it.
Okay.
Even though there's that scene that everybody's seen on Twitter where her mother's murdered by 3 Dalmatians.
Yeah, and she's like,
It's-
well, I got to get those Dalmatians
Yeah,
now.
but it's
I
not
gotta get them.
like it's. I found that like funny in the way that works for the movie.
But it's
Okay.
not a kids movie.
No, do not show your kids.
No,
Okay.
it's
pretty
not at
grim.
all. It's basically sort of celebrating a serial killer.
Anyway, I
Wait,
might
who's the
save my
serial
thought.
killer? Cruella de Vil is the serial killer?
Or Emma
her-
Thompson, who plays
Yeah.
her rival, her fashion rival.
Oh,
Fashion
wow.
rival.
Has anyone been reading or watching anything else though?
There is. I don't know if you've seen it, James or Claire. You could both see it. It's free on YouTube. H Bomber Guy has a new video.
I did watch
It's
that.
the history of the anti-vax movement.
It's incredible.
It's like it's a lot of stuff because I was sort of like, oh, I'm mostly across this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like old interviews and research clearly there's been some deep digging happening.
It maps it back to this one guy from like
And
the mid-90s.
this one, like it's like, well, you know, a lot of people base it on like, oh, there's this report that was released. It's like 5 pages long, and it's based on what some parents reckoned in the 90s, basically.
Or maybe didn't even.
Yeah.
It's like
wild,
like an hour 40 long, but it is
Definitely worth it,
fascinating.
yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think it's probably going to change any minds because if you're anti-vax, you're probably not going to watch an hour 40 video telling you that that's not true. But it's very
I
compelling.
reckon it could chip away at some people.
Yeah.
Like if you just, if people are like, well, I've done my own original research and I think this. It's like, well, here's some more original research. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I've got friends who you know, Claire, who
first I'm hearing of this.
who won't
He's
take.
got friends. Eh?
Yeah, I don't
But-
believe it, mate.
yeah.
So
It's just Barry.
Yeah.
It is
No, it's not-
just
it's
one.
not
I
Barry.
just
It's not
Barry.
Barry.
Or
Oh,
Paul.
No, Barry's
Whoa.
pretty switched on. But like friends who won't take a vaccine but will do a line of coke as long as this table.
Yes,
Like,
correct.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
I understand why you wouldn't want to be the first person to take a new vaccine. Like that, I understand.
I totally understand
Yeah.
the reticence, but I did see Amanda Palmer, who I love and follow on Instagram.
I got some stuff to tell you about Amanda Palmer later. Claire.
Oh no! I don't love anybody. No.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh no! All right. Anyway.
Just kidding. Or am I?
Am I? I never know, Meso. I never know. Don't ruin my little heart. All right. Anyway, she posted about obviously the vaccine, and I always appreciate it when a celeb goes and posts something about it, just because I think it helps with people get get more likely to take the vaccination.
I don't know if it does though, because people kind of hate that, don't they?
No, I don't know. I think it actually just makes people feel like, oh, well, if they're getting it, I can
Oh, you
get
mean like
it.
them actually getting
Yeah,
it?
like
yeah.
actually getting
okay.
it. No,
I thought
no,
you meant
no,
like
not
a
like
a PSA.
Oh no,
Yeah.
like actually getting the vaccine and saying, look, it's safe. It's like that's why the politicians do it too. And
Yeah.
I for me as well, if you're nervous about it, seeing someone else that you know having had it
Yeah.
does actually make a difference too. Anyway, I thought what she said about it was great, that if you're going to believe in something, believe in science, and science can be imperfect, but
Totally.
But also it's the best defense that we have.
Yeah.
And we put our faith in science constantly to get CT scans, to get other vaccines for the flu. If we get sick, where do we turn? Science straight
If we
away.
need a science book.
Is we go to science.
We just open one up.
Anyway, I just think that, that it's the best defense that we have, so you should put your faith in it,
Yeah. I agree.
Anyway.
I think we've all agreed that we're not going to get it though. Is that right? Well, because we can't, because there is none in Australia at all.
No, there's
Is there?
For over 40s there is.
Great.
There's plenty actually available.
Well, we're 15 years off 40, so we're never going to get it.
Claire, you may not know this, but James and I are both 21 to 25, or in that range. Or maybe a slightly different age, but
Wow, you look so bad.
it's true.
It's the podcasting miles.
Yeah. That's,
yeah, it'll do. That'll do you.
And I live in the ocean.
Yeah.
You
Every
do.
time you say like, subscribe, and comment, you gain a year.
Yeah.
You start to rot. So.
True.
Excellent.
What else have I bloody watched this week? I watched Too Fast, Too Furious because
Nice.
we're working our way through
Excellent.
the Fast and Furious movies to talk about on Caravan of Garbage, and boy, I got a lot to
right.
say about that one. Let me
Son,
tell you.
Son of the Mask is coming up this week.
That's right.
There was a special a meme page
I
that
keep having to look at the face of that guy every
keep
5
I
minutes.
keep showing her. I'm
It's
like, Claire, look at this,
horrifying.
and I show her the Son of the Mask, the Jamie Kennedy image.
It's just awful.
Yeah,
Put me
Levins
off my
messaged
dinner.
me because Levins has had some run-ins with Jamie Kennedy and some because they're over at Hey Fam, they're the biggest fans of Son of the Mask, and they have the biggest Son of the Mask collection in the Southern Hemisphere, like merchandise. So
I mean, it couldn't be that difficult. surely.
No.
I don't know, but
Surely not.
Levin's had his year 10 formal in the
In the mask.
in
He was
the-
wearing the mask.
in that weird dance hall from Son of the Mask.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we
They get
recorded
it all in Sydney, don't they?
Yeah, we recorded before, unfortunately, before he told me all this, but that was that would have been a
Go check out
fascinating
Hey Fam.
inclusion.
I
That's
believe
right.
there are definitely some stories on
Yeah.
that on that podcast.
But Son of the
Correct.
Mask is coming up Tuesday. Anything else?
Can I say anything, or am I not allowed?
Yeah.
We didn't invite you into. Imagine if imagine if we're like the guests can be in this segment, but they cannot. They can only approve of our choices of things
That's
we've
right.
watched.
All right, so I've been watching the next season of The Bold Type,
Oh yeah.
which I love. I love that show. It's in, I think it's like the 4th season maybe now, and it's just great.
What's that about? Because I've seen the billboards.
I'll handle this one. It's just
Here you
girls
go.
making a go of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
In
it.
They're in the
Sure.
big city.
Okay,
In
great.
a New York City.
Yeah, and they're
as
like-
they
That's a
always
character
are.
in itself.
I
New York
agree.
City, yeah,
That's
yeah.
why
Exactly.
they've killed off one of the girls because they're like
we got the city, so it's fine. Yeah.
No, Claire, go on.
Okay, so yeah, it's exactly that. It's girls making a go of it. There's 3 main characters, and they work at a big magazine called Scarlet.
There's 4.
It's actually
City.
5 seasons, I should say.
Oh.
So there's the latest season, I think, is the 6th season, and there's only 1 episode out so far on Stan. But it's just brilliant and funny. It's very, for want of a better word, woke.
Oh,
So they
not here. No, thank you.
but
Not our
there's, like,
audience,
the-
Claire. No, thank you.
But the fashion is great. It's like lighthearted. It's got some, like a lot of romantic storylines and all that kind of stuff. But there's some really great feminist commentary in it as well. And I also just really love it because it's smart, but it is a world where COVID doesn't exist, which
yep.
is lovely to live in. It's just lovely to live in like a high fashion, lovely bars and great kind of outfits kind of life, magazine world.
Totally.
It's some escapism.
Yeah,
and-
some shows have done a COVID season. Like I know
Yeah.
Superstore did a COVID season, and
Boy,
it's
did
like
they.
I don't want to know about.
I think
it.
that season's all right. Yeah, I've been watching New Amsterdam.
What's
Which
that?
It's a hospital drama.
Okay.
It's like Grey's Anatomy, but I think it's more serious, if anything.
Definitely not.
Nah, it's cool.
definitely Grey's
I'm
Anatomy.
really
Is
wrapped
this just a Scrubs spin-off?
it does feel like Scrubs, but there's no jokes.
Okay. So the 7th season of Scrubs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, they do COVID, and it's like pretty grim to watch.
Great.
Yeah. Whereas this, actually, you'll like this. You know Melora Hardin?
Who's that?
She is in The
Oh,
Office.
Mason, you know
the
a bad
American
story about her,
Office.
don't you?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
like,
don't
Let
she's
me
from
wind one up.
Australia.
I'll do some
She's
research.
Jan.
She's
You
Jan
know
from
her.
The
She's
Office.
Jan from The
Yeah.
Office.
Uh-huh.
She plays like the head boss of the magazine Scarlet, and she's just like everything I want to be when I'm a woman in like my 50s. She's just like really put together and really smart, but has a heart of gold, but also badass. And
You've only got a
great,
couple
and
of
she's
years.
a
You better get on
writer.
it, Claire. I'm married older.
Anyway.
basically.
yeah, nice.
It's also got a really diverse cast too, which is really good, and they explore themes of queerness and all of that stuff as well. And it's good.
It's actually I've watched some of it when you're watching it. That's all right. Like genuinely, it's
Yeah.
like pretty compelling.
Yeah, it's not it's not going to change your life.
Yeah.
but
What about
it's,
that
it's
show
fun.
Older? You know that show? It's about
Oh,
a lady.
Younger. You mean
Younger. There we go. Not older.
She got older.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
It went off the boil. I
did
actually
it?
really enjoyed Younger. That was on Stan as well. It's about a woman who's, I think, in her 40s who pretends to be a millennial.
Whoa.
Whoa. And it's all about how cool millennials are. But then I think the problem with that premise is that now we're suddenly the word chuggy. Is that right?
Which is slightly off trend.
Yeah, we're slightly
no.
off trend.
Yeah,
And so-
embarrassing for us.
Totally embarrassing. And so that's kind of meant that they've tried to spin that a little bit, but it hasn't quite worked. And also they do the thing in a show where the lead characters who have the sexual tension have got together. And everyone knows once that happens, it's really hard to come back from.
No, what they do, they get them together, and then they're together for a bit, then they have to break up for an innocuous reason, and then they get them back together again, and then the show
Yeah.
ends.
Well,
Then
yeah,
there's a vampire's curse, and one of them falls into a coma.
a giant ear descends from the sky
Yeah.
and says, yeah, I can hear more.
Oh, and I got a copy of Tenet on Blu-ray, so I'm going to watch that with subtitles on and see if I can understand it finally. Yeah.
That's really good.
You send it, Claire?
Looking forward to it.
No, I haven't. Is it scary?
Don't think so.
If you're afraid of
Art. if you're afraid of paintings in a storage locker, then yes, it's very scary. If you're afraid of what's his face putting on a Russian accent? What's the name of that guy?
Kenneth Branagh.
You're afraid of Kenneth Branagh with a Russian accent.
Are you?
Oh, very. No, I love Kenneth Branagh.
Whoa.
I particularly liked him in Much Ado About Nothing, the Shakespeare movie.
Hello, kissy kissy. All right.
That's how I
Any-
feel about him.
Anyway, suggestibles linked below. Claire, your newsletter is also linked below. You are at Claire Tonti.
Correct.
On all platforms. Follow you for updates and new podcasts, correct?
Correct. Yes. Follow me. I don't always tell stories on Instagram, but when I do, that's where I am.
Wow.
Claire Tonti. I also am in the house with Jim Bob, hanging out.
Come and talk to me if you want to speak to Claire.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go talk to Claire directly, but if you want to, if you're afraid, you can come to
Right.
me.
I'm often just lying on the couch next to James while he edits and
That's
shows
right.
me pictures of Son of the Mask for some unknown reason. Or the only other thing you like to do is show me the thumbnail that you've made and go,
What do you think of this
Eh?
thumbnail?
What do you think of
I
this
do that to
one?
Mason as well.
Yeah.
That's not exclusive to you.
You told me that's your favorite thing to do.
It is.
Of all the things that you make, that's what you,
It's all my things in the world.
It is.
That's my favorite thing. All right, dudes. We'll go to the next segment, won't we, Mason?
Yeah,
what's
we
What's
will.
it called? It's
called
letters, isn't it?
Letters.
Let's do it.
Bye, dudes.
Bye.
By that I mean Claire.
Oh,
bye.
The classic one was
Letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
You know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
Very nice of you to play the Letters theme song. It's because it's sort of around your birthday. Maybe it was a month ago or a month from now.
Sure.
But I should have done it, I guess, as a treat to you. And you
Would
should
have
have
been a
said
treat.
Westworld.
Oh.
I mean, seeing as it hasn't been your birthday yet, or it has been already, we could do it again next week.
That's
we could just
true.
do this joke all year.
And we could call it a joke.
Yeah, we could also, which would have people more on board with it.
Yeah, I think so
feel.
too. Yeah.
If you do want to reach the show, joke or not, hashtag weeklyplanetpod on Twitter or weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Send us a tweet. Send us a fleet of text messages in an email. Send it over.
Is that what they call a group of text messages?
Correct.
A fleet.
Yes. Have you got any fleets this week?
I don't have any fleets. Nobody you know how, on Twitter there's fleets?
Yeah.
Which are like Instagram stories, but nobody uses them.
No, get them out of my
What are you
face.
doing, Twitter?
Yeah.
Stop it.
You know when you click on somebody's profile picture, you're like, who's this? And it's like, do you want to see the fleet? Never.
I never want to see that.
Also, I don't know whether they can see that I can see it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
I don't like how Instagram stories are not anonymous. That's why I never click on them. Get out of here. I don't want people to know that I'm looking at them.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
You never admit to looking at anything.
I would not look at
That's
anybody,
right.
not one day in my life.
Here's an email from Jonathan. It says,
Hello,
hi, James
Jonathan.
and Mason. I started listening to the podcast back at the end of 2018. At the time, I was going through detox from years of drug abuse, and having a backlog of hours of podcasts to listen to really helped me get through that difficult process. I've since cleaned up my life.
Sick.
I'm completely drug-free, lost 80 pounds, have a good job and a good relationship.
Bloody hell.
Thank you guys for helping me get through the darkest period of my life. I still listen to the podcast when I go on long runs. Can I be the official former drug addict turned marathon runner of the podcast from Jonathan?
Hells yes.
Yes, you can.
Addicted to those bloody endorphins, am I right? Feeling good and having good relationships and having a good time.
And eating Tim Tams.
No. It's a slippery slope, Mason.
You can have a Tim Tam.
Okay.
I believe this man
You can have
has
one
the strength to have a Tim Tam.
Well, it seems like he would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Lost 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That's incredible.
Congratulations, that's amazing.
Well done. And thank you for
We
saying
were happy
that.
to be in your ears.
Well, you did all
while you're
those
doing
things
that.
by yourself.
That's right.
Yeah. Or with the support of others around you,
That's right, yeah.
presumably. But no, terrific stuff and well done.
Yeah.
Good to hear you're doing well.
Yeah,
It's
you got
awesome.
a tweet there or a fleet
I
of
don't-
tweets?
You're doing fleets. I'm doing tweets.
Okay,
It's
cool.
from JMF. Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod.
Jump.
Yeah,
Hello,
I-
Jump.
I run a search. Every time I put tweet into my search bar, it automatically auto fills like for the search for hashtag Weekly Planet Pod.
Yeah.
It's annoying. So I get these every time I open my Twitter.
Nice.
Anyway, not sure if you two fellas have ever done a Caravan of Garbage on the Simon Pegg / Edgar Wright trilogy of sorts, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End. But do you think there will be a fourth film or sequel to one of those original films? We have covered those movies a long time ago in an old episode.
We would have done a regular podcast about them, yeah.
And leading up to The World's End.
I'd
But
probably like to do commentaries on them. I
Yeah.
think that'd be fun because
Yeah.
there's a lot of
So much in
as
those movies.
as Edgar Wright, obviously all filmmakers are a big fan of films, but I feel like he's got some very kind of deep cuts, and there's so much.
Yeah.
Like every frame of all of his movies, just
the transitions alone,
the
Mason.
transitions alone. It's
Sign up
true.
for that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really a Caravan. Not that this requested it. I don't think they're a Caravan of Garbage thing, though, are they? Because they're like,
Good.
well, that. But like, I don't know what I'd say. Yeah, this is really well made, and I like it, and you should watch it as opposed to me talking about this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But fourth movie though, that's the question.
Good question.
I would watch it.
I would love to see one.
But if he doesn't want to,
And I think possibly it might be a long time coming, just because everybody involved seems to be It would. I imagine it would be a scheduling thing.
Yeah.
All of the people involved, have reached the point, I think, where people are just like throwing work at them.
Yeah.
And it would be a case of Edgar Wright and Nick Frost and Simon Pegg and everybody else who's free all at the same time for months to make this. So,
yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Also, he hasn't hinted at it, but he might have an eye. He's probably got it at least an idea.
He's recently done a documentary about the musical duo Sparks. I haven't seen it yet, but people are big into that. So
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Why don't I check out this then as well? It's from Mika, #Weekly Planet Pod. What are your thoughts on the trailer for Snake Eyes? You've got to talk about it last week's episode, but don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Did we forget to talk about it? We probably did.
I think we thought, should we talk about Snake Eyes? And then we went, there wasn't a lot in that trailer.
Yeah, I think we discussed that maybe before the show.
He had his classic sword. He had his classic Uzi machine gun.
Where were his classic snake eyes? When does he have the surgery? They give him the snake eyes.
It's a good question. Yeah. He's shot in the face with like hot burning fuel. That's what happens to his face.
Really?
Yeah.
I would...
A real waste of Henry Golding's face.
I was going to say a real waste of fuel.
Yeah. Also that.
Just melting a man's face off.
Yeah.
Did we ever see Snake Eyes without his mask on?
In the comics,
Yeah.
yes.
He can't talk, can he?
No.
Where is this going then, this universe?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I think he's white in the comics.
Yeah, I think you might be right. He's white in the other movies. And then he's Ray Park. Yeah, there's a flashback. He's like a little blonde kid, maybe?
Yeah, right.
But it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely not.
It's not dependent on... All that matters is he gets the snake eye surgery.
Yes.
At least get the venom. The snake bite. Or is that a Cobra Commander thing? Can he do that?
No. No.
Which is the guy that
Go
can
on.
take a spear... No, take it... Which is the guy that can take a snake and turn it into a spear and spear a guy? Is that Cobra Commander?
That's probably Serpentor.
Ooh, has he got the powers to straighten out snakes?
I don't
Get
know.
your life in order,
I don't know
Snakes.
what this is you are talking about.
In the G.I. Joe movie, the animated movie...
Oh, that's Serpentor then.
They
I'll show you a
spear
picture.
Duke.
Oh, yeah,
He takes
yeah.
a snake and he straightens it out and he spears Duke.
I'll show you a picture of Serpentor.
So is that his one power? To straighten out snakes?
I have no memory of that, but he looks like a snake man, so you wouldn't be able, you'd remember this man who looks like a snake man. He's got a big snake head.
That's how I'd recognize him. It's only a costume though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's a clone. I think they got a bunch of evil men and they got all their DNA and they swizzled it about.
Yeah.
And they made Serpentor with it.
Should have made someone better.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I don't think that would work. I think you'd probably just get one, like the DNA from one guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much you swizzle it about.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
That's fun. Got any more?
Oh yeah,
Got
let's
any
have a
more
look.
fleets?
Yeah, I got a fleet right here. This is from Biaki. I'm assuming is how you pronounce that name.
Okay. What do we got?
Hi, James and other James.
Hello.
I want to shout out one of my best friends, even though she doesn't listen to the show. Boo. Agreed, Boo.
Her name's Boo.
She, along with her band, had just landed 4th place in the Eurovision Song Contest 2021. Her name is Hulda, and she's the blue-haired girl in Gagnamanio.
All right.
And the O has a symbol above it that I've never seen before. So congratulations. Tell her she's now officially the coolest person in our friend group, but also tell her she's a dickhead to keep her
How
down
do you
to
spell
earth.
that? Her name.
Oh, Hulda, Hulda.
Icelandic.
Icelandic. Makes a lot of sense.
What do we have to tell her?
Officially the coolest person in our friend group.
Cool. You're the coolest person.
This was my question for you, James. How do you feel about the Eurovision Song Contest?
I know you're a big fan. I don't.
Is that true? Am I
Yeah,
a
don't
big
you
fan?
like it?
I'm not again. I didn't watch it this year.
I don't think about it.
Okay, well.
That being said, I think it's cool, like genuinely.
Yeah.
And it's like a real fun expression of like, and I'll catch an act. I'm like, that's off the chain. Look at this
the
shit.
chain, yeah.
Shit's crazy.
Yeah, I think Italy won this year.
Did they?
Yeah.
They
and
would.
Australia gets a
For
Guernsey.
some reason.
Did you know that?
Yeah, for some
Yeah.
reason we go, even though we're not.
I think they should get Auntie Donna in.
God, can you
Right?
imagine?
They've got so many songs. What if they did Morning Brown? Last year we had Montaigne, I think, who's very talented.
Yeah.
But get a dumb act in.
Oh, you do everything as a drum, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd probably do everything as a drum. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could come up with a new thing.
They totally could.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. Why risk coming up with a new thing?
They could do Chop Chop. Have you seen Chop Chop?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I
We
think
could
I
just
might have
Chop
actually
Chop.
seen that already on
Yeah.
Twitter. Somebody recommended that. But yeah, what's next, Mason? Or is that
It's the
it?
end of the show, I think.
Thank goodness. This went forever. And Collins is away, so I have to edit it.
That's right.
God damn it.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But that's only because it's my birthday.
That's right.
Otherwise, I would edit it. By edit it, I mean accidentally put it in the trash. And then it would be gone.
Just your whole computer?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's right. Folks, thank you so much for listening to the show. Thank you for liking it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for lying to a friend to get them to listen to the podcast. Thank you for leaving a 5-star review because that helps. Brings it up in the mysterious algorithm.
Helps so
More
much.
people see it.
Got
Perhaps
one.
you got one
Got
there.
a couple here. This is from Andrew IV or 4, who says, genuinely my favorite podcast. Love these boys. Always a great podcast to listen to make me smile and feel better. James and Meso always find a way to make me laugh. And I love listening to them banter on. Thank you. Easy as that. Open up their app and bada bing, bada bang. Here we go. This is from Jack M. Arn, AR9696. I need a big sandwich. Phenomenal podcast presented perfectly by 2 great lads.
That's us.
That's right. Thank you so much for your kind reviews.
Lads.
That's right.
What do
Girls
we say in Australia?
on films.
There we go.
Sorry?
We say if the lads are out on the town.
Yep.
Do people say lads or are they more like boys?
Boys.
Boys.
Boys, how we doing?
We're boys.
Who bought this bloody joker?
Right.
Jonka. They say Jonka now.
This you bloody got out of Jonka jail, did you, mate?
Who let
Hey?
your bloody wife let you bloody out, did ya? Seriously, we're all depressed. Let's pretend to have fun.
Folks, if you want to get into contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod at Gmail, at Facebook, at Twitter, at Bandcamp. You can go to planetbroadcasting.com. You
That's
can sign
right.
up for the newsletter from the great Rob Collings.
Yes.
He is at Raw Collings on Twitter. He's
Don't
at the
bother
Weekly
him. He's
Planet
on break.
Twitter.
Leave
He's
him
on
alone.
break. Do not bother him. Do not tag him in the group. The Facebook group, Planet Broadcasting Great Mates. Track that down.
Yep.
If you want to have some fun chats in there, get right in there. Get amongst it. Boys, and others.
That's right.
All everyone. I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter. On Instagram, I'm Nick Maso, NickMaseEAU. James, your Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere.
Yes.
If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. You can chuck in a buck. Every little bit helps.
It really does.
Keeps this heater on in here.
Yeah. Is that too hot?
No, it's nice.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. Nice to have heat, you know?
I agree.
Yeah. We're in the bloody lucky country, mate, I tell you what.
That's true.
Yes.
For now. Nice if we could all get vaccinated, Mason.
Agreed.
So the virus didn't keep coming back and I had to homeschool? That's all I'm saying.
You're going back to school.
Who, me?
Yeah, you are.
I don't want to go back to
Nah,
school.
you have to Rodney Dangerfield style.
Oh, man. I have dreams sometimes where I go back to school and then I go, you know what? I don't have to do this. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm out. And I leave.
Whoa.
I know.
That's some real
There's that-
lucid dreaming.
That's pretty good stuff,
That's
isn't
madness.
it? I'm like, I do fucking videos.
Some people fly through the universe, and you're like, I'm not staying at school. I'm a man in my 30s that doesn't have to go to school.
Yeah, man, listen, you're not really flying through the universe. What are you seeing? A blur of stars? Get the fuck out of here. It's not even real. So shut up. You're not even seeing anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
But I'm really podcasting.
You're out there. You're having dreams where you're picking the quickest line in the supermarket. You're like, I did it. Where were we? We've also got an Amazon affiliate link in our episode description. You want to click through there, buy your Amazon stuff. Why wouldn't you? We've also got bigsandwich.co.
Yes.
Sign up there. $9 dues per month. You get all kinds of bonus podcasts. We're having a grand time making stuff over there. We just did a secret commentary. We're not going
right.
to talk about
It's
it until
coming
it's
up,
out.
man.
We'll just tell you what it is. It's not that secret.
It'll be out next week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty good, but we're doing all sorts of stuff. We did a great clickbait episode recently. Had a grand time with it.
Oh, yeah, that's coming
One
up
of the
too.
best.
Yeah, my goodness.
Folks, we got some t-shirts on TeePublic. Bit of a shout out. This is a t-shirt. It's a new t-shirt. It's not an official t-shirt, but I love it. It's from, if you go to Instagram, Art by Lucas, Lukus. It's a new t-shirt. The Great Mates Group demanded it, so it's you operating at 40%.
Incredible. Yeah,
Right?
I gave that to a
It's great
retweet.
stuff. So if you go to his Instagram page, you can find that link. to
I love
that
everything
t-shirt.
about
It's
that.
Great, right?
Yeah,
Very cool. But you can also get regular t-shirts.
we don't mind.
That's
we get
right.
some money or none. I have no idea.
We don't know. Thank you to the Brute and Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes, and that's the show next week. We'll do another show.
We will. Might have some more guests coming up at some point.
That's right,
But
yeah.
next few weeks, we'll
Good friends of ours.
keep you posted.
And yours, the
And mine,
listeners.
That's right, exactly. Oh, they meant me. But yes. Let's go, Mason.
Let's go.
Let's go home.
Grab that gem, folks. We will see you next week.
Goodbye. I'm the Jonka, baby. You know what I mean?
I don't, because you could be one of two people. Are you the Jonka, super criminal, the Jonka?
Yeah.
Or are you Gilliam Jonka, the chocolate factory man?
That's the mystery of the Jonka.
Whoa. This goes deep.
Yeah. This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.